Han Li's Wuxia Chronicles. Chapter 1866. The seal of destiny is a kind of innate ability to control the fate of others. In other words, Qin Feiyang, Mu Tianyang, and the devil ancestors' fate are all in my hands. If I want them to die, they will die. Dong Jingyang said. What? The inner demon's eyes trembled. Qin Feiyang, Mu Tianyang, and the devil ancestors' faces also changed greatly. Dong Jingyang looked at Snowflake and said, "Release the devil ancestors' consciousness." What do you mean? Could it be that the devil ancestors' consciousness was not erased by Snowflake? Qin Feiyang and the others immediately looked at the devil ancestor and Snowflake in surprise. What are you talking about? The devil ancestor's consciousness has long been erased by this sovereign. The artifact spirit said. No. You didn't erase it, because I can see the fate of you and the devil ancestor. To be exact, I can see your future. Dong Jingyang said. See the future? The artifact spirit was surprised. Qin Feiyang and the others were also in disbelief. See the future of the devil ancestor and Snowflake? How could such a thing be done? You seized the devil ancestor's body, so the seal of destiny is equivalent to controlling you. I think you don't want to be erased by me like this. Dong Jingyang said with a calm expression. Trying to scare this sovereign. The artifact spirit laughed. Why don't you listen? Dong Jingyang sighed, and with a wave of his hand, the seal of destiny between the devil ancestor's eyebrows suddenly cracked open. At that moment, Snowflake's artifact spirit felt a fatal threat. Moreover, Snowflake's body was also dissipating. How is this possible? The artifact spirit roared in disbelief. Qin Feiyang and the others were also extremely shocked when they saw this scene. Because this was the best proof that Dong Jingyang did not lie to them. Dong Jingyang looked at Snowflake and said, I'll give you one last chance, release the devil ancestor's consciousness. You, the artifact spirit, was furious. It seems like you don't want to cherish this opportunity. Dong Jingyang sighed deeply and waved his hand again. The mark between the demon ancestor's eyebrows split into two. Don't. The artifact spirit screamed and immediately returned to his body. At least you know your place. Dong Jingyang glanced at the snowflakes and waved his arm again. The cracked seal of destiny between the demon ancestor's eyebrows immediately healed. The main body of the snowflake immediately stopped dissipating. At the same time, the demon ancestor's consciousness appeared. However, he did not speak for a long time. He lowered his head, and his expression was incomparably complicated. After a long time, the fiend ancestor raised his head and scanned the entire place. In the end, he looked at Snow and sighed. Why didn't you erase my consciousness? Actually, I won't blame you for erasing my consciousness. Instead, I will be grateful to you. Because I've made too many mistakes in my life. Only death can atone for your sins. After saying that, the demonic ancestor lowered his head again. His face was filled with pain. Idiot. Snowflake snorted coldly, as if she had expected better from him. Yes. I am an idiot. If I could have woken up earlier, how could I have done so many heinous things? The demon ancestor muttered. He raised his head and looked at Dong Jingyang. Why did you save me? Dong Jingyang said, because you can't die yet. Reason. The demon ancestor said. I need your strength. After Dong Jingyang finished speaking, he looked at Qin Feiyang and Mu Tianyang. I also need your strength. What do you mean? Qin Feiyang frowned. You will understand in the future. In short, none of you can die now. In other words, although I used the seal of destiny to control you, I will not take your lives. Dong Jingyang said. What kind of joke is this? How can our fate be controlled by you? The inner demons roared and slashed at Dong Xingyang. The seal of destiny can not only control the fate of others, but also tie their lives to mine. In other words, if you kill me, not only the demon ancestor Mu Tianyang, but your original body will also die with me. Dong Xingyang looked at the inner demons fearlessly. What? The inner demons trembled. Young master, what should we do now? Zhao Tailai and the others looked at Qin Feiyang in a daze. Qin Feiyang stared at Dong Xingyang in silence. The inner demons suddenly laughed and said, since I can't kill you, then I will kill the demon ancestor in Mu Tianyang. You can't kill them either. Our fates are already connected. No matter who you kill, your original body will die. Dong Xingyang said. Why did it become like this? The inner demons trembled and gripped the blood-colored sword tightly. If he didn't kill the demon ancestor in Mu Tianyang, then wouldn't Fatso, Gongsun Bei, Yen Wei, Shui Song, his mother, and the creatures of the Black Tortoise world have sacrificed in vain? No. This kind of thing was absolutely not allowed. What seal of destiny, I don't care. Since you dare to stand in front of me, then I dare to kill you. The inner demons roared and charged at Dong Xingyang crazily. What a crazy inner demons! Dong Xingyang muttered. But he didn't dodge, nor did he counterattack. The inner demons attacked. Without any hesitation, he slashed at Dong Xingyang. Dong Xingyang's body was cut in half by the blood-colored sword on the spot. However, the inner demons froze in the void. Dong Xingyang's split body didn't have any flesh or blood. It's an energy body. Zhao Tailai shouted. Bastard! It's actually just a clone. The inner demons were furious as they scanned the surrounding void. Dong Xingyang's original body must be hiding somewhere nearby. Sigh. The demon ancestor let out a long sigh, took a step forward, and landed in front of the inner demons. He smiled and said, kill me. He said that our fates are already connected. As long as you kill me, no matter where he hides, he will die. Do you think I don't dare? The inner demons said angrily. Without any hesitation, he raised his hand and slashed with his sword. Mu Tianyang looked at Qin Feiyang and said anxiously, hurry up and stop the inner demons. He had just recovered his strength and didn't want to die. And now, the only person who could stop the inner demons was Qin Feiyang. Qin Feiyang glanced at the inner demons, then looked at Mu Tianyang and said, a dignified emperor is also so afraid of death. You're not afraid? Mu Tianyang said angrily. Qin Feiyang was silent. Frankly speaking, he was very afraid. Because once he died, no one would be able to revive everyone. The inner demons suddenly said, this sovereign, I will revive them. Qin Feiyang immediately looked at the inner demons. The inner demons turned his head and smiled at Qin Feiyang, saying, after all, everyone is my companions, my family, how can I abandon them? Similarly, I won't abandon you. Thank you. Qin Feiyang murmured and said with a smile, if that's the case, then I have no worries at all. Just do it. The inner demons nodded, turned to look at the demon ancestor, and shouted, die. I miscalculated. I should have controlled the inner demons as well. On a distant mountain peak, Dong Xingyang looked at the inner demons and muttered to himself. There was a trace of anger between his brows. That's right. Previously, he was indeed just a clone. He also thought that as long as he controlled Qin Feiyang, it was equivalent to controlling the inner demons. But he didn't expect the inner demons to be so crazy and not care about Qin Feiyang's life at all. A good game of chess was completely disrupted just like that. Sigh. Perhaps, the time isn't right yet. Dong Xingyang sighed. With a thought, the marks between Qin Feiyang, the demon ancestor, and Mu Tianyang's eyebrows immediately disappeared. Young master, quickly look at Mu Tianyang and the demon ancestor's eyebrows. Zhao Tailai's eyes suddenly widened. Qin Feiyang looked over, and his expression immediately froze. The seal of destiny had actually disappeared. Zhao Tailai turned to look at Qin Feiyang and said in surprise, "Young master, the seal of destiny on your forehead has also disappeared." Qin Feiyang touched his forehead and said, "It seems that this seal of destiny can indeed tie our lives together. Otherwise, Dong Jingyang wouldn't have removed the seal of destiny now. Speaking of which." He raised his head and scanned the surrounding void and said, "Go, find Dong Jingyang for me." Understood. The blood Qilin, the golden leopard, and Zhao Tailai immediately spread out and released their divine senses to search carefully. At the same time, the inner demons and Mu Tianyang also noticed the disappearance of the seal of destiny. The two of them were naturally overjoyed. Because this way, they wouldn't have to die with the demon ancestor. Of course, the inner demons wouldn't let the demon ancestor go either. The blood-colored longsword fell, and its sharp edge tore the sky and split the earth. The demon ancestor's divine body was torn apart on the spot. Blood splattered everywhere, and his divine soul was also shattered by the blood-colored longsword. Mo Du was also shattered along with it. Because before Mo Du, Snowflake's weapon spirit had taken it into the demon ancestor's body. And in the face of such a terrifying sword, there was no suspense. The people in Mo Du were all killed, and not a single strand of hair was left. Lord Demon Ancestor, seeing the death of the demon ancestor, the demon dragon immediately let out a hysterical roar and rushed towards the inner demons without caring about anything else. At the same time, Mu Tianyang also turned pale with fright and disappeared in an instant. Obviously, he had hidden in the space divine object. Ant. The inner demons smiled contemptuously and waved the blood-colored longsword in his hand. The demon dragon's blood immediately splattered across the sky. Immediately after, he turned around and looked at the place where Mu Tianyang had disappeared. His divine senses rolled out and immediately captured that Mu Tianyang was riding the space divine object and frantically fleeing. Even if you can ascend to the heavens or dive into the earth, you won't be able to escape death today. The inner demon slashed out with his sword. A blood-colored light flashed across the sky like lightning and stood on the space divine object. Clang! The space divine object was shattered on the spot. 3 bloody figures appeared in a sorry state. It was Mu Tianyang, Mu Qing, and Shen Mei. As for the others in the space divine object, they had all been destroyed along with the space divine object. Not even their bones were left. As for Mu Qing and Shen Mei, they were saved under Mu Tianyang's best protection. At this moment, the two of them looked at the inner demons, and their eyes were filled with fear and despair. Now, who else can stop me from killing you? The inner demons glanced at the 3 of them. Like a ruthless death god, he charged towards the 3 of them step by step. Mu Qing stood in front of Mu Tianyang and roared, "My lord, you go quickly. I'll hold him back. Go quickly." Shen Mei also stood in front of Mu Tianyang and shouted. "Just you two?" The inner demon's face was full of disdain. With a flick of his fingers, 2 strands of divine power shot out and entered Mu Qing and Shen Mei's glabella. Following the 2 screams, their heads exploded like watermelons. Mu Qing, Mei, bastard, I'll perish together with you. Mu Tianyang roared, and a destructive aura rushed out of his body. If you want to self-destruct, you have to get my permission. The inner demon's domineering aura was unparalleled. He waved his blood-colored sword again, and the blood-colored light flashed again. In an instant, he rushed in front of Mu Tianyang and entered his glabella. Boom! Mu Tianyang's head exploded, and his divine soul was annihilated. Chapter 1867. At the same time, Seeing Demon Ancestor, Demon Dragon, and Mu Tianyang being killed one after another, Snowflake, Blood Blade, and Demon Pagoda all fell into an unparalleled panic. Let's not talk about Demon Pagoda first. Although Snowflake and Blood Blade were both heaven-defying artifacts, their bodies were now broken and could no longer activate the power of law. In other words, they were now fish on the chopping board. Shwa! Inner demons turned around and swept towards them. Snowflake's artifact spirit hurriedly said, "Inner demons, let's talk nicely, don't do it, what were you doing earlier?" Inner demons smiled coldly and rushed in front of Snowflake. That terrifying murderous aura caused Snowflake to be extremely frightened. Don't, look, Blood Blade and I are both heaven-defying artifacts. If we help you, even if you go to the ancient realm in the future, no one can hurt you. Snowflake said. If I let you go, how can I face those sacrificed cedar? You'd better be destroyed. Killing intent surged in Inner Demons' eyes. Sword chi surged like a tide, drowning Snowflake, Demon Pagoda, and Blood Blade. Snowflake and Blood Blade were both heaven-defying artifacts. It was not an easy task to completely destroy them. However, it was only a matter of time. As for Demon Pagoda, it was much inferior. Although it was a legendary artifact, the blood-colored sword's current power far exceeded that of a legendary artifact. In the blink of an eye, Demon Pagoda had already been torn apart and turned into pieces. Inner demons, Qin Feiyang, you will die a horrible death. Even if we become ghosts, we will come to find you. Just you wait. But suddenly, 3 enraged and resentful roars could be heard. Qin Feiyang was stunned. Inner demons also looked at Demon Pagoda in shock. Of these 3 voices, 2 of them belonged to the Chief Pagoda Master and the State Preceptor. The other voice was somewhat unfamiliar. Following closely, 3 figures fell out from the broken Demon Pagoda. So they are all in Demon Pagoda. Looking at the 3 of them, Inner Demons nodded in realization. That's right. The 3 of them were the Chief Tower Master, the Imperial Advisor, and Zhuge Shenfeng. As soon as the 3 of them appeared, they stared at the Inner Demons with resentful eyes. In just a moment, the 3 of them were torn to pieces by the sword energy and died on the spot. Ants will always be ants. The Inner Demons smiled coldly. Boom! However, at this moment, accompanied by a terrifying aura, the snow python appeared out of thin air without any warning. Its body was hundreds of meters long, and it raised its huge tail and slammed it towards the Inner Demons. What? The Inner Demons' expression changed. Isn't this bastard in the sea of reincarnation? Why is he here? It was a close call. With a thought, the blood-red armor appeared. Boom! The giant tail fell, and the Inner Demons were sent flying. Snow Python, are you done yet? Qin Feiyang bellowed. So what if it's not over? The Snow Python gave a contemptuous smile as its divine power surged out and pounced towards Qin Feiyang. Snow Python, you have broken the rules. At the same time, Qin Yuan also appeared out of thin air and stood in front of Qin Feiyang. He waved his old hand and a gust of divine power surged out. Boom! The 2 divine powers collided with each other. One must know. The Snow Python was an existence that surpassed the war god level. Since Qin Yuan dared to make a move, it meant that his cultivation was not weaker than the Snow Python's. The collision of the 2 guardians' divine powers was extremely terrifying. A destructive wave of air swept across the sky. The void was destroyed, and the earth collapsed. Dust billowed and covered the sky. Snow Python, I won't forgive you. After the Inner Demons stabilized his body, he grabbed the blood-red sword and rushed into the dust, charging towards the Snow Python. The blood-red armor on his body was already shattered, and blood was dripping from his body. When the killing zone is over, I will let you know the consequences of angering me. The snow python glanced at the inner demons coldly, then swept up the demon tower, snow, and the fragments of the blood-red sword, and disappeared from the sight of the inner demons. Damn it! The inner demons roared and crazily waved the blood-red sword. The blood-red sword energy shattered the void and the earth. The corpses of the demon ancestor, Mo Long, and Mu Tianyang were all turned into ashes under the sword energy. High up in the sky, Qin Feiyang looked at Qin Yuan and exclaimed, "Uncle Yuan, why are you here?" Qin Yuan glanced at the crazy inner demons, then looked at Qin Feiyang and smiled. As guardians, the snow python and I can freely travel between the two continents. But just now, I was careless and didn't keep an eye on the snow python, allowing her to escape. So that's how it is. Qin Feiyang nodded in realization. Dong Jingyang, so you were hiding here. At this moment, Zhao Tailai's shout sounded. Qin Feiyang hurriedly looked over and saw Zhao Tailai's aura erupting as he rushed towards a mountain peak. On the peak of the mountain, a young man in black stood against the wind. Who else could it be other than Dong Jingyang? Dong Jingyang, die. When the inner demons heard Zhao Tailai's voice, they immediately rushed over with the blood-red sword. Tang Hai, the Blood Kirin, Chui Li, and the Golden Panther also immediately rushed over. On the peak of the mountain, Dong Jingyang looked at the inner demons and Zhao Tailai without a trace of nervousness. Qin Feiyang, we will meet again. Finally. He looked at Qin Feiyang and said expressionlessly. Then, he withdrew his gaze. Don't even think about escaping. Zhao Tailai shouted. Get lost. But suddenly, a cold shout sounded. The snow python appeared next to Dong Jingyang out of thin air. Divine power gushed out as it pounced towards Zhao Tailai. Zhao Tailai's expression changed as he quickly turned around and fled. If you have guts, don't run. The inner demons roared angrily. The snow python snorted and immediately disappeared without a trace with Dong Jingyang. Beast, beast. The inner demons was extremely angry as they scanned the void around them. Qin Yuan waved his hand and brought Qin Feiyang to the side of the inner demons. He smiled and said, don't look for her. She must have taken Dong Jingyang and left the first area. She left the first area so quickly. The inner demon said. Qin Yuan smiled and said, after all, she is the guardian of the forgotten continent. No matter where she goes, she can just move her mind. Damn it. The inner demons punched the void, and a large part of the void was instantly shattered. The demon ancestor and Mu Tianyang are dead. Their subordinates were also annihilated along with the spatial divine item. So there is no need to chase after the snow python now. Moreover, killing the snow python will not benefit you at all. Instead, it will bring you a greater disaster. Qin Yuan said. What disaster? Qin Feiyang and the inner demons looked at each other and looked at Qin Yuan in shock. The reason why the snow python and I can become the guardians of the two continents is because of a terrifying existence. If you kill her, you will anger that existence. Qin Yuan said. Qin Feiyang said, who is this terrifying existence you are talking about? Qin Yuan said, I have never seen its face. I only know that it is a golden small beast. A golden small beast. Qin Feiyang and the inner demons looked at each other. Could it be that the golden small beast that Uncle Yuan was talking about was the same golden small beast that they had met in the miracle? Greetings, Elder Qin. At this time, Zhao Tailai, Tang Hai, Chui Li, the Blood Kirin, and the Golden Leopard flew over and bowed to Qin Yuan. No need to be so polite. This time, Feiyang was able to defeat the demon ancestor Mu Tianyang because of your help. Thank you. Qin Yuan bowed. You can't do that. Zhao Tailai hurriedly waved his hand. Tang Hai, Chui Li, the Golden Leopard, and the blood Kirin also looked terrified. This old man in front of them was the person that the young master respected the most. They couldn't accept this bow. Qin Yuan smiled and turned to look at Qin Feiyang and the inner demons. He said, "You are very lucky to have such a group of reliable companions." The inner demons said proudly, "Isn't it because I taught them well?" Zhao Tailai and the others heard this and immediately rolled their eyes. "What? You have a problem?" The inner demons looked at them with a frown. "I wouldn't dare." The 3 people and 2 beasts shook their heads. What a joke. Even the snow python fled at the sight of them. One could imagine how terrifying the inner demons were now. With their strength, they were probably not enough to fill the gaps between the inner demons' teeth. At the same time, they were also very happy. Fortunately, they were not the enemies of Qin Feiyang and the inner demons. Otherwise, they would definitely end up like the demon ancestor and Mu Tianyang. Because except for Cui Li, they were all once Qin Feiyang's opponents. Suddenly, Zhao Tailai looked at Qin Feiyang curiously and asked, "Young master, can you open the slaughter field?" This question of yours, if you don't have an average level of skill, you really can't ask it. Tang Hai suddenly looked at him with disdain. The inner demons also pressed his forehead and helplessly shouted to the sky, "How can I have such a stupid subordinate?" Zhao Tailai was stunned and looked quite embarrassed. If the inner demons could open the slaughter field, then Qin Feiyang could certainly do it too. He could even ask such a stupid question. No wonder Tang Hai and the inner demons despised him. Then I'll ask a good question. Cui Li grinned and looked at Qin Feiyang, saying, "Young master, can you and the inner demons open the slaughter field at the same time? Are there any other restrictions? We can open it at the same time. As for the restrictions, in addition to the 1 hour that you know, we can only open it once a day." Qin Feiyang said. "Amazing. If you open the slaughter field at the same time, then you will really be invincible." Cui Li was speechless. Zhao Tailai said, "The slaughter field is indeed powerful, but I think the young master will not open it easily." "That's true." Cui Li nodded. The sacrifice of the entire Black Tortoise realm in exchange for the current battle strength of the inner demons was too heavy a price. Back to the topic. Qin Feiyang's face became serious. With a wave of his hand, the phantom of the golden small beast condensed. He looked at Qin Yuan and asked, "Uncle Yuan, is this the terrifying existence you mentioned?" "Yes." Qin Yuan nodded. "What?" Qin Feiyang's face changed. The eyes of the inner demons, Zhao Tailai, and the others sank. "It seems that you have seen it." Qin Yuan smiled. Qin Feiyang said, "Did it really make you a guardian?" "Yes. And it also raised my cultivation from the false god realm to the half-step divine lord realm." Qin Yuan said. This, Qin Feiyang and the others were shocked. From the false god realm to the half-step divine lord realm, how heaven-defying would it take to do that? Zhao Tailai sighed, "Young master, it seems that we have underestimated its strength." "Yes." Qin Feiyang nodded. Chapter 1868. And most importantly, it was the small beast that made Uncle Yuan a guardian. That means that the Great Qin and the Forgotten Continent are all under its control, just like the miracle. In other words, the 2 continents we live on were also created by that person called Wutian. The inner demons said in a deep voice. The miracle, the Great Qin, the Forgotten Continent, the 6-word divine formula, the ancient castle, Chang Shui, all of these are related to him. What kind of existence is this Wutian? Everyone frowned, unable to figure out what was going on. Qin Yuan smiled and said, "A person of that level is not someone we can speculate about." Qin Feiyang nodded, looked up at Qin Yuan and said, "Uncle Yuan, can you help me solve the doubts in my heart now?" Qin Yuan said, "The battle is not over yet." "It's not over yet?" Qin Feiyang and the others were stunned, looking at Qin Yuan suspiciously. The Merfolk clan. Qin Yuan reminded. Damn it. I actually forgot about them. The inner demon's eyes were filled with killing intent as they looked at the ice lake. The ice lake and the altar were nowhere to be found. Obviously, they had been destroyed in the previous battle. The inner demons retracted their gaze and looked at Qin Feiyang, saying, "Main body, quickly open the gate of time and space. Let's go and kill them all." Qin Feiyang said helplessly, "The real gate of time and space can only be opened once a day. Then what should we do?" The inner demons were annoyed. Suddenly, he seemed to have thought of something, looked up at Qin Yuan, and said with a smile, "Uncle Yuan, bring us back to the Great Qin. This shouldn't be against the rules, right? You brat. Actually, you don't have to worry too much. Tan Tai Li has already brought people to support Elder Qin." Qin Yuan shook his head and smiled. "Great-grandmother?" Qin Feiyang was stunned. Yes. After Mu Tianjun merged with the divine body, he immediately brought people to the main tower. Tan Tai Li is also a smart woman. Seeing that the situation was not good, she did not hesitate to bring Yi Shu and the others to escape to the spiritual state. Qin Yuan said. "I see." Qin Feiyang nodded in realization. He smiled and said, "With great-grandmother and the others providing support, the people of the 9 prefectures should know. The living beings of the 9 continents have been slaughtered by the mermaid clan." Qin Yuan sighed. "Slaughter them all." Qin Feiyang was dumbfounded. The inner demons roared, "These damned beasts, we must kill them." Qin Yuan was silent for a while. Looking at the inner demons and Qin Feiyang, he said, "After all, the mermaid race has a deep relationship with the late emperor. I hope you can still be merciful. If I don't kill these heartless bastards, I won't be able to vent my anger." The inner demons snorted. Qin Yuan glanced at the inner demons and then at Qin Feiyang. Both of them had a strong killing intent between their brows. He shook his head and sighed helplessly. He smiled and said, "Do as you wish." After saying that, the old man waved his hand and the group of people suddenly disappeared without a trace. However, Qin Yuan did not return to the Great Qin Empire and stayed in the Forgotten Continent. "Dong Zhengyang, Snow Python, this old man wants to see what exactly you are planning." Qin Yuan muttered and took a step forward, disappearing between heaven and earth. Spirit State. Above the Butterfly Valley. At this moment, the flames of war were swirling. Whether it was Elder Qin's group of 5 or the 5 mermaid ancestors, they were all covered in blood. "I didn't expect you to be so strong and even have a supreme-grade divine artifact," the mysterious lady shouted angrily. In the golden mermaid's hand, there was a fist-sized golden bead. It was completely round and looked like it was cast in gold, shining with golden light. This was the supreme-grade divine artifact that Elder Qin mentioned. "You guys are impatient." The golden mermaid looked at the mysterious lady and snorted coldly. 10 ancient pagodas floated around the mysterious lady. Each ancient pagoda was as huge as a mountain and linked together, emitting a terrifying aura. This aura was no weaker than the golden bead in the golden mermaid's hand. They could fight for so long precisely because of these 2 divine artifacts. Both sides fought extremely fiercely. Swoosh! Suddenly, high in the sky, 5 people and 2 beasts appeared out of thin air. They were Qin Feiyang, the inner demons, Zhao Tailai, Tang Hai, Chui Li, the blood Qilin, and the golden divine leopard. Bloody waves rolled in the killing zone. The blood-colored longsword's murderous aura soared into the sky. As soon as they appeared, Elder Qin's group of 5 and the 5 mermaid ancestors felt the murderous aura of the blood-colored longsword. In an instant, the 10 of them stopped what they were doing and looked up. Qin Feiyang. Without a doubt, Elder Qin's group of 5 was overjoyed. The 5 mermaid ancestors, on the other hand, looked like they had seen a ghost. Their bodies and minds were trembling, and their faces were filled with disbelief. Qin Feiyang's appearance in the spirit state meant that the battle with the demon ancestor was over. Moreover, the demon ancestor was defeated. For a moment, the 5 mermaid ancestors fell into panic. The demon ancestor had more than a dozen gods of war under his command, including 2 low-tier gods of war. The demon ancestor himself was even more powerful. He actually lost to Qin Feiyang. How terrifying was Qin Feiyang's current strength? Feiyang. The mysterious lady, Elder Qin, Yishu, the monkey-faced old man, and the hook-nosed old man immediately soared into the sky after coming back to their senses. Elder Qin, great-grandmother, Elder Yi, and you too, Qin Feiyang glanced at Elder Qin, the mysterious lady, Yishu, the monkey-faced old man, and the hook-nosed old man one by one. He bowed and said, "Thank you for your hard work." "What hard work? You are the ones who have really worked hard." The mysterious lady shook her head and asked, "How is the demon ancestor now?" The demon ancestor, Mu Tianjun, and Mu Tianyang, including their subordinates, have all been wiped out by us. The snowflake and blood blade, these 2 heaven-defying artifacts, have also been shattered. Although it's a pity that we didn't completely destroy them, they won't cause any trouble in the short term. Zhao Tailai said. Elder Qin's group of 5 looked at each other. Not only did they defeat the demon ancestor, but they also eliminated Mu Tianyang and Mu Tianjun. This speed was too fast, wasn't it? Yishu asked, "In other words, you came from the Forgotten Continent?" "Yes." Qin Feiyang nodded. "Amazing, amazing. Kid, you really didn't disappoint our high hopes." Elder Qin stepped forward and patted Qin Feiyang on the shoulder, laughing with relief. However, hearing the conversation between Qin Feiyang and the others, the 5 mermaid ancestors were scared out of their wits. The demon ancestor, Mu Tianyang, and Mu Tianjun were not only defeated, but even the 2 heaven-defying artifacts were also severely damaged. How did the strength of this group of people become so terrifying? Wait. Suddenly, the 5 looked at the blood-colored long sword in the hands of the inner demons, and their hearts suddenly surged. That edge, that aura, could it be because of it? "Big brother, quick, run immediately," a black-winged mermaid secretly said. The golden mermaid quivered and immediately led the 4 into the spatial divine item. "Want to escape?" The inner demon's face was full of disdain. Divine consciousness emerged, enveloping all directions, and instantly captured the spatial divine item. Following closely, he waved the blood-colored long sword, and a flash of light burst out. Accompanied by a clang, a black hole immediately shattered in the void. That was the spatial divine item that the Qin Emperor gave to the mermaid clan back then. The spatial divine item was instantly destroyed, the 5 of them rolled out in a sorry state, their faces full of shock. The dozens of pseudo-god level mermaids also appeared one after another. In addition to them, there were thousands of other mermaids. The cultivation of these mermaids were all between War Master and War Emperor. Without exception. They all raised their heads and looked at the inner demons in horror, panicking to the extreme. "You should thank me. Because if I didn't show mercy, you would have been annihilated along with the spatial divine item." The inner demons laughed sinisterly. "So, you're going to let us go?" The golden mermaid's pupils contracted, and he asked nervously. "Let you go," the inner demons murmured, and a fierce light flashed in his eyes. He shouted, "Back then, our ancestors could have exterminated your clan, but in the end, not only did they not kill you, but they also gave you a spatial divine item with a time array. But now, how are you repaying them?" "What? A spatial divine item with a time array?" When the 4 of them heard this, they looked at Qin Feiyang and the inner demons in surprise. "That's right. This is what the demon ancestor said himself. And that spatial divine item, I think it's the hall that was destroyed before. Qin Feiyang said. This is simply outrageous. The Qin Emperor was so good to you, and you actually rebelled. The mysterious lady was furious. If Qin Feiyang and the inner demons were not here, facing the mysterious lady's anger, the 5 mermaid ancestors would definitely continue to be arrogant. But now, they really did not have the courage. They lowered their heads and trembled in fear. I didn't kill you just now, not because I want to let you go, but because I want to personally send you, one by one, to hell. The inner demons smiled ferociously, holding the blood-colored long sword, like a ruthless grim reaper, and rushed toward the group of mermaids. Wait! The mysterious lady suddenly shouted. The inner demons stopped and turned to look at the mysterious lady in confusion. Qin Feiyang, Zhao Tai and the others were also suspicious. The mysterious lady clenched her hands and said angrily, "These ungrateful bastards, let me take care of them." You. The inner demons was stunned, and grinned. Great-grandmother, are you kidding? With your strength, to take care of them, I'm afraid, what? Are you looking down on me? Before the inner demons finished, the mysterious lady raised her eyebrows. No, no. The inner demons hurriedly waved his hand, rushed to Qin Feiyang's side, and looked at the mysterious lady playfully. He really wanted to see what this great-grandmother could do. Seeing this situation, the 5 merfolk ancestors looked at each other, and a light flashed in their eyes at the same time. The golden merman looked at the mysterious lady and said, "If we defeat you, will you let us go? As long as you have the ability, what's the harm in giving the great Qin to you?" The mysterious lady said. Hearing this, Qin Feiyang and the others looked at each other. Wasn't this bet a little too big? The golden merman smiled secretly, looked at Qin Feiyang and the inner demons, and asked, "Do you agree?" He didn't believe that the mysterious lady really had this ability. As long as Qin Feiyang and the inner demons didn't make a move, the merfolk clan was sure to win. This, Qin Feiyang and the inner demons looked at each other, and then at the mysterious lady. It wasn't that they didn't believe in the mysterious lady, but because the 5 merfolk ancestors' strength was not inferior to the mysterious lady. Moreover, the golden merman also had a supreme-grade divine artifact. Chapter 1869. At first, I thought that the Qin Emperor might have done something to them back then. That was why they resented him and wanted to rebel. However, that was not the case. Not only did the Qin Emperor not hurt them, but he also gave them a spatial divine item with a time array. Anyone with a conscience would be grateful for such a great kindness. However, not only did these bastards not have the slightest bit of gratitude, but they repaid kindness with evil. This is simply unforgivable. The mysterious lady looked at the 5 merfolk ancestors gloomily, her heart filled with unprecedented anger. Hearing these words, Qin Feiyang and the inner demons looked at each other again and nodded at the same time. Qin Feiyang looked down at the 5 merfolk ancestors and said, "Great-grandmother's decision is our decision." Haha, the 5 merfolk ancestors immediately laughed. They actually bet the fate of the great Qin on Tan Tai Li. It seemed that this Qin Feiyang was just a fool. Looking at the expressions of the 5, the mysterious lady sneered, "Do you think that victory is already in your hands?" The 5 of them were silent. However, their disdainful expressions were enough to prove their thoughts at the moment. "I have to say that you are too naive." The mysterious lady sneered and shouted, "Feiyang, give me the divine crystal." Divine crystal? Qin Feiyang was taken aback, a little confused. What did great-grandmother want with the divine crystal now? He naturally knew the power of the divine crystal. At most, it could only be regarded as a high-grade divine artifact. Therefore, even if the divine crystal was revived, it would not be of much help in this battle. You and I both know great-grandmother's methods and character. She definitely won't do anything meaningless. Since she wants it, just give it to her. The inner demons secretly said. Qin Feiyang nodded, took out the divine crystal, and handed it to the mysterious lady. The mysterious lady grabbed the divine crystal, looked at the 5 merfolk ancestors, and sneered, prepare to despair. As soon as she finished speaking, the mysterious lady waved her hand, and the 10 stone pagodas floating around her suddenly soared into the sky. Deity, did you notice that the 10 stone pagodas look a little familiar? The inner demons secretly said. They do seem a little familiar, Qin Feiyang mumbled. Dusty memories surfaced in his mind. It's them. Qin Feiyang and the inner demons looked at each other in disbelief. These 10 stone pagodas were exactly the same as the pill pagodas in the 9 great regions, as well as the sacred pagoda in the main pagoda. The pill towers in the 9 regions and the sacred tower in the main tower were the places where the heavenly lightning flame, heavenly astral flame, frigid ice flame, and the other alchemy flames were sealed. So they are all divine artifacts. Qin Feiyang murmured. Back then, when they fought against the Mu family, no matter how they fought, even if they self-destructed, the pill pagoda still stood tall. At that time, he had a feeling that these stone towers were not simple. It turned out to be true. No. To be exact, the power of these stone towers far exceeded his imagination at that time. Rumble. The 10 stone pagodas that soared into the sky emitted a dazzling divine light. Fuse. The mysterious madam looked at the 10 stone pagodas with an indescribable gleam in her eyes as she shouted. As soon as she finished speaking, the divine crystal in the mysterious lady's hand soared through the air and floated in the middle of the 10 stone towers. Buzz. The divine crystal shone brightly and connected to the 10 stone pagodas. At that moment, the 10 stone pagodas quickly overlapped with a loud rumbling sound. A monstrous divine power erupted like a volcano. This, Qin Feiyang was surprised. This scene was exactly the same as when the demon ancestor fused the demon tower and the demon palace. Could it be, these 10 stone pagodas were also a divine artifact that had been separated? The 10 stone pagodas that overlapped with each other shone brightly. Finally, when the light dissipated, a stone pagoda that was more than 10,000 feet tall appeared. The merged stone pagoda only had 10 floors in total. But the aura that it emitted had already surpassed the supreme-grade divine artifact and reached the level of a peak divine artifact. Sure enough, Qin Feiyang murmured. The faces of the 5 mermaid ancestors had already turned pale. It turned out that this was the true face of the 10 stone pagodas. Are you afraid now? What will really scare you is yet to come. The mysterious lady shouted. Accompanied by a loud clang, the divine crystal that was suspended in the air swept to the top of the stone pagoda and then embedded itself on the top of the pagoda. Rumble. Immediately, an even more terrifying divine power surged out. This divine power had reached the level of a legendary divine artifact. Damn, no wonder great-grandmother was so confident. It turns out that this stone pagoda is a divine artifact comparable to the demon tower. The inner demons were shocked. I also felt that the power of the divine crystal didn't seem to be unleashed. So this is the case. Qin Feiyang murmured. This thing is called the divine pagoda. Back then, the Qin emperor took it apart to protect the 9 regions and the central divine kingdom. Originally, with the divine pagoda, the forgotten continent would never have to worry. However, I didn't expect that my good junior brother would be jealous and join forces with the Mu family to assassinate me and take away the most important part of the divine pagoda, the divine crystal. However, he didn't know the true use of the divine crystal. Because the Qin emperor only told me the secret of the divine crystal. But other than me, there were 2 other people who knew. They were Mu Changfeng and Mu Changyan. After all, they are Mu Tianyang's sons. But such important information, they definitely wouldn't tell the chief pagoda master. So, the secret of the divine crystal was kept. The mysterious madam looked at the 5 mermaid ancestors and said. Of course. She was also saying this for Qin Feiyang and the others to hear. I see. No wonder the Mu family and you all wanted the divine crystal. Qin Feiyang said. That's right. How could such an important thing fall into the hands of the Mu family? But in the end, fortunately, you got it. The mysterious madam turned to Qin Feiyang and said with a smile. Qin Feiyang said helplessly, you should have told me this earlier. The divine pagoda is a legendary divine artifact. With your strength at that time, you couldn't fuse them. What's the use of telling you? Moreover, at that time, I wasn't ready. The mysterious madam said. That's true. At that time, our cultivation base was too weak. Qin Feiyang nodded. Miss, since the divine pagoda is so powerful, why didn't you ask this kid for the divine crystal earlier? If you asked for the divine crystal when we separated in the glacier forest, we wouldn't have to run to Great Qin now. The monkey-faced old man looked at the mysterious madam helplessly. The situation was urgent at that time, I didn't think of it at all. The mysterious madam smiled bitterly and said, but there are gains and losses. If we didn't run to Great Qin, old Qin would have blown himself up long ago. That's true. The monkey-faced old man nodded. Looking at the 5 mermaid ancestors. At this moment, they were standing in the void, feeling the terrifying aura of the divine pagoda, they were all trembling. Now, their minds were full of fear. They thought that they would win, but they didn't expect the mysterious madam to have such a terrifying divine artifact. A legendary divine artifact, this was an invincible existence. What should they do? Is the mermaid clan really going to die today? Come on, let me see what kind of ability you heartless things have to covet this continent. The mysterious madam shouted. The 5 mermaid ancestors' eyes trembled. The dozens of false gods behind the 5 of them, as well as the thousands of mermaids, all had pale faces, without any light. The 2 mermaid ancestors that appeared in Undersea City were also there. The wings on their backs had also changed from 3 to 4 pairs. Obviously. They had all broken through to the Battle Sage realm. However, at this moment, looking at Qin Feiyang and the others, they were also full of fear. Plop. Finally. Some mermaids couldn't help but kneel down in despair. Don't kill us. We were wrong, we shouldn't have rebelled, please, for the sake of the first mermaid emperor and the others, give our mermaid clan a way out. 5 patriarchs, I beg you, please let go of me. Our mermaid clan, after the disaster 10,000 years ago, it wasn't easy for us to recover. We can't repeat the same mistake. The 5 mermaid ancestors turned to look at their clansmen behind them, their faces pale. Was the fate of their mermaid clan really unchangeable? Were they really going to live under the rule of humans forever? They couldn't accept it. Is it too late for you to realize it now? Tens of thousands of creatures in the 9 prefectures died tragically in your hands. Only death can atone for such heinous sins. Old Qin roared in grief and indignation. The 5 mermaid ancestors' eyes trembled. Actually, I don't feel much about you killing the creatures of the 9 prefectures. After all, my hands are also stained with blood. But you shouldn't have betrayed the great Qin Empire and the Qin Emperor. This is absolutely unforgivable. The mysterious madam shouted, and the divine pagoda, carrying with it the power to destroy the world, rushed toward the group of people. I don't accept this. The golden mermaid roared. The golden bead in his hand shone brightly and blasted toward the divine pagoda. Humph. The inner demon snorted coldly, used the Xing formula, and rushed to the golden bead in one step. He grabbed it in his hand, and his divine consciousness emerged, instantly erasing the blood contract inside. Damn it! Return our clan's sacred artifact to us. The golden mermaid roared. The inner demons looked at the golden mermaid with disdain, turned around, and walked back to Qin Feiyang without looking back. Boom! At this moment, the divine pagoda fell. Ah! Accompanied by a series of screams, the bodies of the 5 mermaid ancestors immediately shattered in the void, and flesh and blood flew all over the sky. The other mermaids were also buried under the divine pagoda. When the dust settled, except for Qin Feiyang and the others, there was no other mermaid left. They were all wiped out. Qin Feiyang retracted his gaze and scanned the surroundings. The void as far as his eyes could see was filled with a bloody mist and a tragic aura. In a trance, he even heard the desperate screams of people before they died. A moment later, Qin Feiyang sighed deeply and said, "These people are truly monstrous in their sins." The inner demons asked, "What about the mermaids of the Sea of Despair?" Qin Feiyang pondered for a moment and said, "They are just the lowest level mermaids. I don't think they participated in the rebellion." Qin Feiyang, however, before Qin Feiyang finished speaking, a voice came from afar. Genius remembered the address of this site in 1 second. Mobile version of reading website, M. Chapter 1870. This voice, Qin Feiyang was stunned. He raised his head and looked in the direction of the voice. He saw a middle-aged man about 40 years old flying over from the distant void. Although the middle-aged man was a human, he had the aura of a merman. "There's another merman." The mysterious lady raised her eyebrows and was about to kill the middle-aged man. Qin Feiyang quickly grabbed the mysterious lady and said, "Great-grandmother, don't." "What's wrong?" The mysterious lady turned and looked at him suspiciously. "This," Qin Feiyang stammered, looking a little flustered. The inner demons joked, "Great-grandmother, you really can't kill this person, because he's my future father-in-law." Future father-in-law? The mysterious lady was stunned. Zhao Tai-Lai, Yi Shu, and the others were also shocked. The inner demon said, "He's the mermaid princess father." "Who asked you to talk?" Qin Feiyang glared at the inner demons and went to greet the mermaid emperor. "Feiyang, it's really you." After the two met, the mermaid emperor looked very excited. Qin Feiyang smiled and asked suspiciously, "Uncle, why are you here?" "It's a long story. Last night, I suddenly sensed 5 terrifying auras in the Sea of Despair. At that time, I thought it was a strong enemy. But when I followed them, I found that they were actually mermen. It was only then that I realized that there were so many terrifying false gods and war gods hidden in the mermaid clan." The mermaid emperor sighed. The mysterious lady flew over and said coldly, "It seems that you didn't rebel with them." Hearing this, the mermaid emperor glared at the mysterious lady and said, "The Qin emperor has given the mermaid clan a new life. How could I rebel? Not bad. You have a conscience. I admire you." The mysterious lady was not angry. Instead, a smile appeared on her face. "Actually, I wanted to stop them. But with my strength, how could they listen to me?" The mermaid emperor sighed. "Fortunately, you didn't come out to stop them. Otherwise, with their personalities, they would have killed you without hesitation." Old Qin said. "Yeah. I really don't understand. What are they trying to achieve by doing this? Isn't it good to live a normal life?" The mermaid emperor sighed. Qin Feiyang said, "Not everyone is as indifferent as Uncle." Alas. The mermaid emperor sighed deeply. He looked at Qin Feiyang and asked, "Where is my daughter?" Qin Feiyang wanted to say something but hesitated. There was a trace of sadness on his face. The mermaid emperor's eyelids twitched as he urged, "Hurry up and say something." "I'm sorry, uncle." Qin Feiyang took a deep breath and looked at the mermaid emperor. "Uncle, she's dead." "What?" The mermaid emperor's body trembled. He grabbed Qin Feiyang's clothes and roared, "Why didn't you protect her? I also want to protect her." I want to protect all my relatives. But there are always helplessness in this world. Qin Feiyang lowered his head and said. When old Qin heard this, he suddenly had an uneasy premonition in his heart. He asked, Feiyang, what do you mean? Not only the mermaid princess. Mother, the little prince, grandpa, Yan Wei, Jiang Jingyi, and all the people and beasts around me have died in the sea of reincarnation. Qin Feiyang said. What? Old Qin's eyes trembled as he asked, in other words, only the few of you survived? Yes. Qin Feiyang nodded. How could this be? Old Qin murmured. Sorrow came from his heart. But don't worry. They won't really die. Including the people of the 9 regions. Qin Feiyang clenched his hands and said with an incomparably firm gaze. What do you want to do? The mysterious lady raised her eyebrows. The inner demons pursed his lips and said, it can be done. It must be to open the gate of rebirth and resurrect them. Gate of rebirth? The mermaid emperor let go of Qin Feiyang and looked at everyone suspiciously. Qin Feiyang smiled and said, Uncle, don't worry about this. Go back to the Sea of Despair first. I promise that I will bring your daughter back to visit you. The mermaid emperor looked deeply at Qin Feiyang and sighed. He patted Qin Feiyang's shoulder and smiled. Don't force yourself too much. Although he was not strong, he had lived for so many years. At a glance, he knew that Qin Feiyang would definitely pay a high price to resurrect everyone. Okay. Qin Feiyang nodded. Then, everyone, I will take my leave. If you have time, come to the Sea of Despair as a guest. The mermaid clan welcomes you at any time. The mermaid emperor looked at old Qin and the others and smiled. Of course. Old Qin and the others nodded. Then, the mermaid emperor did not stay any longer and turned to leave. After watching the mermaid emperor disappear, the mysterious lady retracted her gaze and looked at everyone. Although this person's strength is not good, he has a grateful heart. It seems that there is no need to eliminate him. Everyone nodded. Even the inner demons did not object. Then, next, the mysterious lady's face turned serious. She looked at Qin Feiyang and said, let's talk about the Gate of Rebirth. I have made up my mind. There is nothing to talk about. Qin Feiyang shook his head. Are you stupid? The mysterious madam was furious and shouted, do you think your mother, your grandfather, your friends and companions will be grateful to you for what you've done? Wrong. Not only will they not be grateful to you, but they will also hate themselves. So what? If I have no family and no friends, there is no meaning in my life. Qin Feiyang lowered his head. Who said you have no family now? No friends? The people and beasts standing here, which one of them doesn't treat you like family? The mysterious lady said angrily. Qin Feiyang raised his head and looked at old man Qin, Zhao Tai, and the others. Everyone was also looking at him with a smile on their faces. This smile made him feel warm in his heart. However, he did not change his mind. He retracted his gaze and turned to leave without saying a word. Where are you going? Stop right there. The mysterious lady shouted and was about to chase after him. The inner demons reached out and stopped the mysterious lady. Looking at Qin Feiyang who disappeared from their sight step by step, the inner demons sighed, let him be. The mysterious lady said, you also let him mess around? I am his inner demons. In this world, the person who understands him the most is me. All these years, why did he work so hard? Isn't it to protect the people around him? Although the chaos of the demon ancestor, Mu Tianyang, and the mermaid clan has been quelled, his heart is even emptier than before. The reason is that he lost his family and companions. If he doesn't open the gate of rebirth and revive everyone, he won't be able to rest in peace for the rest of his life. Life will also lose its meaning, and he will be like a walking corpse. I don't think this is the ending you want to see. The inner demons looked at the mysterious lady and laughed. The mysterious lady lowered her head and fell silent. Forgotten continent. In the second area, deep in a mountain, two figures floated in the air. It was Dong Xingyang, the snow python. Beside him, Snowflake, Blood Blade, and the demon tower were repairing themselves. Dong Xingyang glanced at the surrounding mountains and rivers and sighed, I really didn't expect that the plan this time would fail. The snow python said, the failure lies in the inner demons. Why didn't you control him as well? I was indeed careless. One wrong step and the whole game is lost. However, at that time, it was very difficult to control the inner demons. After all, he was moving, and the seal of fate couldn't lock onto him. Dong Xingyang said. Then what should we do now? You've planned for so many years, are you going to fail just like that? The snow python asked. Let's wait. The demon ancestor, Mu Tianyang, and Mu Qing are all dead. We can only wait for the next person to open the eye of despair, the eye of evil, and the eye of heaven. Dong Xingyang said. The snow python looked at Dong Xingyang with a gentle gaze that had never been seen before. It suddenly smiled and said, the demon ancestor and the others are not dead. Not dead. Dong Xingyang was stunned and turned to look at the snow python. A bloody light flashed in front of the snow python, and 4 drops of blood appeared. This is, Dong Xingyang was surprised. These 4 drops of blood belonged to the demon ancestor, Mo Long, Mu Tianyang, and Mu Qing. At that time, when my divine power collided with Qin Yuan, it stirred up dust in the sky. At that time, when Qin Yuan and Qin Feiyang weren't paying attention, I collected their blood. The snow python laughed. Good. Very good. Dong Xingyang was overjoyed and said, Qin Feiyang will definitely open the gate of rebirth. At that time, as long as these 4 drops of blood are sent into the gate of rebirth, they will naturally be reborn. Yes. The snow python nodded. Dong Xingyang asked, what about Shenmei and Mu Tianjun? Mu Tianjun turned into ashes. Even his bones are gone. There is no way to collect his flesh and blood. As for Shenmei, she is of no value to us at all, so I didn't collect her blood. The snow python said. You are silly. Shenmei is of no value to us, but she is very important to Mu Tianyang. Otherwise, he wouldn't have risked his life to protect Shenmei when the space divine item was destroyed. Dong Xingyang sighed. Then we will tell Mu Tianyang that Shenmei is gone and there is no way to revive her. The snow python said indifferently. That is the only way. Dong Xingyang nodded. You want to use the seal of fate to control them and collect the blood of the demon ancestor and the others. This old man is really curious. What are you planning? An old voice suddenly sounded. Then Qin Yuan appeared in front of the 2 of them out of thin air. Old thing, you are really haunting us. The snow python immediately shouted and hurriedly collected the blood of the demon ancestor and the others. Then, it protected Dong Xingyang behind it. Don't be nervous. Dong Xingyang comforted the snow python and walked to its side. He looked at Qin Yuan and said with a smile, long time no see. It has indeed been many years. However, this old man always thought that you had fallen. I didn't expect that you had changed your identity. Qin Yuan said. There is no other way. That terrifying existence wants to kill me. If I don't change my identity in advance, I will definitely be destroyed. After all, whether it is me or you, we are just ants in this world. We have no right to choose. Dong Xingyang looked at the sky with a trace of inexplicable sadness and helplessness. Chapter 1871. Qin Yuan looked at Dong Xingyang, was silent for a while, and then said, well, tell me everything. Do you really want to know? Dong Jingyang retracted his gaze and asked Qin Yuan. If you can't convince me, I will kill you and destroy the blood of the demon ancestor. Qin Yuan said. You dare. The snow python stared at Qin Yuan angrily. See if I dare. Qin Yuan glanced at her indifferently. Schwepper, don't worry. Dong Jingyang looked at the snow python and said intimately, then looked at Qin Yuan and smiled, if I can convince you, can you promise me one thing? What is it? Qin Yuan was suspicious. Dong Jingyang said, when Qin Feiyang opens the gate of rebirth, send the blood of the demon ancestor and the others into the gate of rebirth. Qin Yuan frowned. The snow python sneered, old thing, don't you dare. Qin Yuan glanced at the snow python and looked at Dong Jingyang, it seems that you are very confident that you can convince me. Dong Jingyang smiled and said nothing. Qin Yuan pondered for a long time and nodded, well, if you can really convince me, what's wrong with helping you? The imperial capital. A day and a night passed. The emperor, Emperor Hong, and Qin Sheng. The civil and military officials were still in the throne room and had not dispersed. From the beginning of the battle, there was no smile on their faces. After so long, there was no news at all. How was the battle in the Sea of Reincarnation? The emperor could no longer sit still. He glanced at the civil and military officials below and asked, who has established a contract bridge with Feiyang? The civil and military officials looked at each other and finally shook their heads. The emperor looked at Emperor Hong and asked, Grandfather, what about you? I don't either. Emperor Hong sighed. In such a big imperial capital, no one has established a contract bridge with him. It can be seen that Feiyang doesn't even have a friend in the imperial capital. It's all my fault. The emperor blamed himself. Your Majesty, what did you do wrong? Qin Sheng was suspicious. The civil and military officials couldn't figure it out. Whether he had friends or not was Qin Feiyang's own business. What did it have to do with His Majesty? If it weren't for us, would Feiyang have fallen into a situation where the entire world is his enemy? If he hadn't fallen into a situation where the whole world was his enemy, would he have no friends at all? If this is not our fault, then whose fault is it? The emperor said furiously. Everyone fell silent. Your Majesty, when His Highness was in the imperial capital, he was very close to Sun Dahai of the treasure pavilion. In my opinion, Sun Dahai should be able to contact Your Highness. An old official suddenly said. Sun Dahai. The emperor was stunned and hurriedly said, call him to the throne room immediately. No need to trouble Sun Dahai. At this moment, Lu Jing suddenly appeared outside the hall and strode into the throne room. Lu Jing. The emperor's eyes lit up. Lu Jing glanced at the civil and military officials, then looked at the emperor and snorted coldly. I knew it. Other than old Qin, no one in the entire imperial palace has established a contract bridge with little cousin. The emperor looked ashamed. Lu Jing sighed and said, Uncle, in fact, you shouldn't blame yourself too much. After all, you were also trying to protect little cousin before. Uncle, the emperor looked at Lu Jing in a daze. For so many years, it was the first time he heard Lu Jing call him uncle. The word uncle almost made him cry. Lu Jing smiled faintly, took out the image crystal, and sent a message to Qin Feiyang. The emperor also restrained his mind and quietly stared at the image crystal in Lu Jing's hand. Emperor Hong, Qin Sheng, and the civil and military officials were also extremely nervous for a moment. However, after a long while, the image crystal did not show the slightest reaction. How could this be? Could it be that His Highness? The civil and military officials were in an uproar. Shut up. Lu Jing glanced at them, shouted coldly with a gloomy face, and sent a message to Lu Hong and others. But in the end, no one responded to him. No, Lu Jing shook his head. He was very clear about Qin Feiyang's current strength. It was impossible for him to encounter any mishaps. But why didn't anyone react? The emperor's gaze turned and fell on Emperor Hong. He said worriedly, "Grandfather, Feiyang and the others, don't panic." Emperor Hong shouted. After pondering for a moment, he said gloomily, "I'll go to Devil Dragon Island to take a look." "I'll go too," Lu Jing said. Emperor Hong said angrily, "What are you going to do?" "Stay here and wait for me. Qin Feiyang is my cousin. Hong is my beloved woman. Fatso and the others are also my most cherished friends. You told me not to go. Aren't you just letting me suffer here?" Lu Jing shouted. Emperor Hong gave him a deep look, opened a teleportation gate, and said, "Come with me." The two walked in one after another. When the Blood Kirin told Qin Feiyang the coordinates of Devil Dragon Island, Emperor Hong and Lu Jing were both present. Therefore, they also heard it. After the two left, the emperor and the others waited anxiously in the throne room. As Lu Jing said, this was really a torment. Time passed bit by bit. Finally, the horizon was white. The sun slowly rose from the east, and the sun shone on the earth. At this moment, Emperor Hong and Lu Jing returned. Both of them looked very tired, and their eyes were unfocused. "How is it?" The emperor hurriedly stood up and asked the two of them. "Devil Dragon Island has disappeared. Whether it's Feiyang or Devil Ancestor, neither of them have been found." Emperor Hong lowered his head and muttered. Although his voice wasn't loud, it resounded in everyone's mind. Boom! Everyone felt as if they had been struck by lightning. Especially the emperor. His entire body was paralyzed on the dragon throne, his face full of pain. Qin Sheng looked at the emperor worriedly and asked, "Lord Emperor Hong, did you not find a single person?" "No. In that sea area, other than the fluctuations of the battle and that tragic aura, there was nothing else." As Emperor Hong spoke, he also closed his eyes in pain. "So, your highness and the devil ancestor have died together?" Qin Sheng murmured, suddenly raised his head, and roared in grief, "The heavens are jealous of the talents, the heavens are jealous of the talents." Spirit state. No one knew what was going on in the throne room at the moment. Tang Hai, Zhao Tailai, Chui Li, the golden leopard, and the blood Kirin were all lying on the ground. After the bloody battle in the Sea of Reincarnation, they were already exhausted. Now, they didn't even want to move. They just wanted to lie here quietly and have a good sleep. The blood Kirin looked at the sky and grinned. "Do you think we are dreaming? Facing the devil ancestor and Mu Tianyang, as well as Snow and Blood Blade, these terrifying existences, we can still survive. It is indeed like a dream." Zhao Tailai laughed softly. "Don't talk, let me have a good sleep," Tang Hai murmured to himself as he slowly closed his eyes. Not long after, he fell asleep. Zhao Tailai glanced at Tang Hai and smiled helplessly. This guy actually fell asleep. After all, he has been fighting 1 against 2 in this battle. He must be more tired than you and me. The golden leopard shook his head and smiled. Zhao Tailai said, "Speaking of which, the most tired person should be Chui Li." Yes. If he hadn't been holding the 6 war gods back, we would have been dead. The golden leopard said. Zhao Tailai, the golden leopard, and the blood Kirin turned to look at Chui Li and found that he was already fast asleep. This guy, it seems like he's really tired. Zhao Tailai shook his head and smiled. Right. The golden leopard's eyes lit up. Haven't you always wanted to know what Tang Hai looks like? Now is a good chance. Yes. Old Zhao, take off his mask and look. The blood Kirin said. Zhao Tailai hesitated. That's not good. It's taking advantage of him. The golden leopard said, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This, Zhao Tailai thought for a while, then gritted his teeth, raised his arm, and reached for the mask on Tang Hai's face. Slap! But then, the inner demons stepped forward and slapped Zhao Tailai's hand away. He looked at Zhao Tailai, the golden leopard, and the blood Kirin and scolded, "If you're tired, rest. Don't think about this nonsense all day." The man and the two beasts laughed. But then again, what does this guy look like? I'm so curious. The inner demons muttered. He turned around and squatted on the ground, blocking Zhao Tailai and the blood Kirin's view. He then took off Tang Hai's mask. What? He actually, immediately. He was stunned. Master, what? What? Don't block us. Let us have a look. You can't be so selfish. Zhao Tailai and the blood Kirin heard the inner demon's exclamation and became even more curious. So, this is your real face. The inner demons ignored them. He looked at Tang Hai's face and muttered. Then, he put the mask back on Tang Hai's face. Then, the inner demons stood up and turned around to look at Zhao Tailai and the blood Kirin. He said angrily, "Peeping on other people's privacy is very rude. Behave yourselves." As soon as he finished speaking, he started to walk towards Old Man Qin and the others. Pfft! He was the one who was peeping. How dare he scold us? How shameless! Zhao Tailai and the blood Kirin looked at the inner demons with disdain. The mysterious lady looked at Tang Hai and the others. Then, she looked at the inner demons and smiled. Are they all tired? Of course. It's such a difficult battle. Even a machine can't take it. The inner demon smiled. The slaughter area had already disappeared. He didn't look angry at all. He looked very friendly. Thank you for your hard work. Right. When you went to the Forgotten Continent to kill Mu Tianyang, did you see him killing people? The mysterious lady asked. No. We went straight to the glacier forest. We didn't go anywhere else. The inner demons shook his head. Yishu sighed and said, I hope they are all safe. Now, there is another problem. The king and King Hong haven't received any news from us. They must be worried. But the teleportation altar was destroyed. The time gate won't open until tomorrow. This, old Qin couldn't help but sigh. That's not a big deal. We have to go back sooner or later. Now, I am worried about Fei Yang. Where did he go? The mysterious lady frowned and looked in the direction that Qin Fei Yang had disappeared. Her eyes were full of worry. Please remember the domain name of this book. Literature Library Mobile Version Website. Chapter 1872. He Province. A white-robed young man was walking silently in the void. He was like a lonely traveler, not saying a word from beginning to end. Behind him, a river of blood was floating. That was real blood, a river of blood that had gathered. This blood was from both humans and beasts. The white-robed young man was Qin Fei Yang. At this moment, he was collecting the blood of the creatures of the 9 continents. Along the way, he had seen too many mountains of corpses and seas of blood, and felt a lot of despair and resentment. This made his heart particularly painful. Every injustice has its perpetrator, every debt has its debtor. Even if the Qin clan was wrong, they should be blamed. Why did they kill the creatures of the 9 continents? What did they do wrong? Why did they have to suffer such an unfair massacre? If it weren't for the fact that the mermaids of the undersea city didn't participate, he would definitely kill them all. Even if the mermaid princess came back to life, she wouldn't be able to stop him. The rising sun warmed people's hearts, but it couldn't dispel the blood mist that permeated between heaven and earth, and the resentment that couldn't be dispelled. Time passed little by little. Night fell. Qin Fei Yang's footsteps had already traveled all over the 9 continents. Finally, he returned to his original starting point, Iron Ox Town. The river of blood behind him had turned into a sea of blood. This was the blood of the creatures of the 9 continents. But it wasn't all. Because many people and beasts had been destroyed, and even their blood couldn't be found. This night, he stood in the sky above Iron Ox Town, recalling the scenes of the past. There were joys and sorrows. It was very long, but also very short. Life was like this. When you walk, you feel that every step is difficult and long, but when you look back, everything is just a blink of an eye. No matter what the outcome is, you have done it. Uncle Yuan is sincerely happy and proud for you. Early morning. An old laughter suddenly spread in the void, and Qin Yuan appeared beside Qin Feiyang out of thin air. Thank you. Qin Feiyang turned to look at Qin Yuan, and a long-lost smile appeared on his face. Qin Yuan glanced at the sea of blood behind him and asked, "Is this the blood of the creatures of the 9 continents?" "Yes. They are innocent. They shouldn't have died like this." Qin Feiyang nodded. Qin Yuan retracted his gaze and smiled. "I won't interfere with what you want to do as long as you don't regret it. You've watched me grow up. You must know very well that even if you intervene, you can't stop me." Qin Feiyang smiled. "You brat." Qin Yuan shook his head and smiled. He lowered his head and muttered to himself, "About Dong Xingyang." Qin Feiyang was stunned. He turned to look at Qin Yuan and asked, "You went to see him?" "Yes. He told me a lot." Qin Yuan nodded. "Who exactly is Dong Xingyang?" Qin Feiyang frowned. After this incident, he did not believe that Dong Xingyang was simply a descendant of the Dong family. Qin Yuan said, "Before me, the guardian of this continent was actually Dong Xingyang." "What?" Qin Feiyang was shocked. He did not expect this answer at all. "Wait. To be precise, the real Dong Xingyang is already dead," Qin Yuan said. Qin Feiyang was surprised. "You mean, he possessed Dong Xingyang?" "Yes." Qin Yuan nodded. "Then who is he?" Qin Feiyang asked. Qin Yuan said, "His original body was a winged dragon. He was a partner with the snow python of the Forgotten Continent." Winged dragon. Qin Feiyang was shocked. This winged dragon was a real divine dragon. He was killed by the small beast. Now, he is Dong Xingyang. Dong Xingyang is him. So in the future, don't think of him as a winged dragon. Just think of him as Dong Xingyang. Qin Yuan smiled. "What? He was killed by the small beast?" Qin Feiyang was shocked. Wasn't he the guardian of this continent in the past? How could he be killed by the small beast? Qin Yuan said, "His death is related to his fighting soul." Fighting soul? Qin Feiyang was shocked. Yes. The fighting soul that he activated is called the Eye of Destiny. Together with your Eye of Heaven, it is ranked 3rd among the top 10 fighting souls. Qin Yuan said. Eye of Destiny. Qin Feiyang frowned and asked suspiciously, "What's so scary about the Eye of Destiny? Why would it bring death to him?" The Eye of Destiny can see the fate of the future. Furthermore, as his cultivation level increases, the future he can see will be further and further away. Qin Yuan said. It's so heaven-defying. Qin Feiyang was shocked. Yes. Back then, he saw his own future and knew that the small beast was coming to kill him. Therefore, he split a part of his soul and escaped in advance. Qin Yuan smiled. Qin Feiyang was in disbelief and said, "Why is such a heaven-defying fighting soul ranked below the Eye of Heaven? Logically speaking, it should be ranked first. Because the Eye of Destiny doesn't have much killing power, it is ranked below the Eye of Reincarnation and the Eye of Heaven." Qin Yuan smiled faintly. Qin Feiyang nodded and asked, did the small beast kill him because he touched some taboo? Yes. He saw a future that he shouldn't have seen. Qin Yuan said. A future that he shouldn't have seen. Qin Feiyang was slightly stunned and asked, what kind of future is it? Regarding this, Qin Yuan pondered for a moment. He smiled and said, if you have the chance, you can ask him personally. Also, I don't want to talk about how he used the seal of destiny to control all of you. Qin Feiyang was speechless and said, you clearly know. Why do you want me to ask him? Qin Yuan said, because I still can't accept these things. Therefore, I can't tell you. Qin Feiyang's pupils shrank. Even Uncle Yuan couldn't accept it. What kind of future did Dong Xingyang see? After a moment of silence, Qin Feiyang said helplessly, all right, I'll ask him when I have the chance. When did you become a guardian? It's a coincidence. When the small beast killed him, I was looking for a few herbs nearby and was discovered by the small beast. I thought that it would kill me too, but I didn't expect that it would make me the guardian of this continent. Qin Yuan shook his head and smiled bitterly. Qin Feiyang was stunned. So you agreed in a daze? Wrong. Qin Yuan said. Wrong. Qin Feiyang was stunned. I didn't become a guardian in a daze. In fact, I didn't want to be a guardian. Qin Yuan sighed. What do you mean? Qin Feiyang was puzzled. My current cultivation base is half-step Divine Lord. This was raised by the small beast. You know this. Qin Yuan said. Qin Feiyang nodded. You've already said this in the glacier forest. Qin Yuan said, then do you know why it helped me raise my cultivation base? Qin Feiyang pondered for a moment and said with a smile, isn't this simple? To protect a continent, one naturally needs to be strong enough. Yes. After every guardian takes office, their cultivation base will be raised to half-step Divine Lord by the small beast. But do you know? Although we can become stronger in an instant, the price we have to pay is something that no one can bear. Qin Yuan said. What price? Qin Feiyang was puzzled. We can't cultivate anymore. In other words, our cultivation base will be stuck at half-step Divine Lord forever. Qin Yuan said. What? Then why are you still a guardian? Qin Feiyang said angrily. For the great Qin. Qin Yuan said with a smile. For the great Qin, Qin Feiyang murmured. Suddenly, he seemed to have thought of something and his eyes trembled. I remember that at that time, you weren't born yet. Even your mother wasn't pregnant with you. But you also know that long before your father succeeded the throne, the demon ancestor and the imperial preceptor had already taken control of the great Qin. Qin Yuan said. Father and great-grandfather have already told me about this. The demon ancestor let Zhuge Xinyun lurk in the imperial palace as the imperial preceptor in order to monitor the great Qin and wait for a descendant of the Qin clan who has undergone atavism. Qin Feiyang said. That's right. You should know my identity now. I'm your grandfather, the subordinate of Emperor Qin. Qin Yuan said. Qin Feiyang nodded. Your grandfather and I have a master-servant relationship, and we are also very good friends. He didn't hide anything about the imperial preceptor and the demon ancestor's scheme from me. Back then, it wasn't just your grandfather. I was also worried. But what could we do? The demon ancestor's foundation is so terrifying. We could only endure. So, when I met Small Beast and heard that after becoming a guardian, my strength would rise to half-step Divine Lord, I agreed without hesitation. Qin Yuan said. Uncle Yuan, Qin Feiyang looked at the old man in front of him, tears falling uncontrollably from his eyes. Uncle Yuan sacrificed so much to protect the great Qin and the descendants of the Qin clan. Although becoming a guardian means that I can't participate in the conflicts of the continent, I can intimidate the demon ancestor and wait for the rise of the Qin clan's descendants. Qin Yuan said with a smile. Uncle Yuan, thank you. Qin Feiyang knelt in the void and kowtowed heavily to Qin Yuan. If not for Uncle Yuan's protection over the years, the great Qin would have been destroyed by the demon ancestor and the Big Fish clan. The descendants of the Qin clan would probably have been wiped out as well. Qin Yuan stretched out his hand to help Qin Feiyang up and said with a smile, "Silly child, Uncle Yuan is also a part of the great Qin. Protecting the great Qin is Uncle Yuan's responsibility. What are you thanking me for?" Qin Feiyang wiped away his tears and asked, "Does grandfather know about this?" "No. I didn't tell anyone. After Small Beast left, I returned to the imperial palace and quietly stayed by your grandfather's side like before. Later on, your mother was pregnant with you. You also know that the imperial preceptor had already infiltrated the imperial palace to monitor everyone. So, whenever the emperor's concubine was pregnant, everyone would be especially nervous. Me too. Back then, when you were still in your mother's womb, I had been secretly observing you. And when you gradually formed, I realized that you were a little different from the other princes and princesses." Qin Yuan said. Genius remembered this site's address in a second. Apex mobile version website. Chapter 1873. What's different? Qin Feiyang was curious. At first, this old man didn't understand. Later, when you were about to be born, this old man finally noticed the difference. It turns out that in your bloodline power, you were born with the aura of the purple gold dragon blood. But the aura of this purple gold dragon blood is extremely weak. Other than this old man, no one else noticed it. Qin Yuan laughed. I remember my father and great-grandfather said that when I was 10 years old, my bloodline power began to show signs of atavism. It seems that it's not without reason. Qin Feiyang laughed proudly. Qin Yuan shook his head and laughed. At that time, this old man discovered this and was very happy, because in the future, you will definitely be able to activate the purple gold dragon blood. But, speaking of this. Qin Yuan sighed, his face full of melancholy. Demon ancestor? Qin Feiyang asked. Yes. If the demon ancestor knows about this, he will definitely be even crazier. However, this old man can't participate in these disputes. In the end, after thinking about it, I can only let nature take its course, but this old man has also made arrangements in advance. For example, the enchantment in your grandfather's walking stick was secretly set up by this old man. Qin Yuan laughed. So it's like this. Qin Feiyang suddenly understood. After all, your parents have already discussed to give birth to you in the Lu family. This enchantment might be able to help you. And at that time, this old man specially left an anonymous note to tell your grandfather about the existence of the enchantment. But in the end, because of the appearance of Chang Shui and the ancient castle, this enchantment was useless at all. Qin Yuan shook his head and laughed. Although it was useless at that time, isn't it useful now? Qin Feiyang laughed. If it wasn't for this enchantment, the Lu family would have been razed to the ground by Zhuge Mingyang. This is the so-called unpredictable world. Later, your grandfather and grandfather were taken away by the demon ancestor. This old man was worried about their safety, so I entered the demonic dragon island and gave him a warning. It was also at that time that the demon ancestor finally knew that I was the guardian of this continent. As for what happened after that, you already know. When you were 10 years old, your father crippled your bloodline power and expelled you from the imperial capital. As for your mother, she couldn't bear to see you wandering outside alone. Thus, she came to find this old man and asked me to take care of you. However, your mother doesn't know. Even if she didn't come looking for this old man wouldn't sit idly by. Qin Yuan smiled. After Qin Feiyang heard this, he sighed and said, I really didn't expect that so many things had happened back then. The road to happiness is strewn with setbacks. If you hadn't experienced all those things back then, would you have your current accomplishments? Qin Yuan said. Qin Feiyang said with a wry smile, "Your words are exactly the same as what the shadowless man said to me back then." The shadowless? Qin Yuan was puzzled. "I've never seen him before, but whenever I'm about to give up, his voice will appear to encourage me. That's why I call him the shadowless." Qin Feiyang said. Qin Yuan said in surprise, "I didn't expect that there was actually still someone secretly helping you." "Yeah. I'm very grateful to him," Qin Feiyang said with a smile. Suddenly, he looked at Qin Yuan in surprise and said, "Uncle Yuan, don't tell me that the shadowless man is you?" "This old man?" Qin Yuan was stunned and shook his head. "I'm not lying to you this time. It's really not this old man." Seeing that Qin Yuan didn't show any signs of lying, Qin Feiyang said with a smile, "Then I'm really looking forward to it. This old man is also looking forward to his appearance. After all, he has taken care of you. No matter what, this old man has to thank him properly." Qin Yuan said. Qin Feiyang smiled and said suspiciously, "There's one thing that I still don't understand. I have no enmity with the snow python. Why would she make things difficult for me? Could it be because of Dong Zhengyang? No. She made things difficult for you because of this old man." Qin Yuan shook his head. "Why do you say that?" Qin Feiyang was puzzled. Qin Yuan pondered for a while and sighed, "You don't know. In fact, the snow python is not a snow python. It's a white dragon." "What? She's a white dragon?" Qin Feiyang was surprised. "Yes. Back then, when Yinglong was killed, her character became extremely violent and she treated human lives like grass. The number of people who have died under her claws is innumerable. Later on, this old man couldn't stand it anymore and reported this matter to Small Beast. When Small Beast learned about this, it directly used its magic power to turn her into a snow python. And she can never return to her white dragon body. Because of this, she has always hated this old man. You are the person that this old man cares about the most. Naturally, she doesn't like you. However, because of this old man, she didn't dare to really do anything to you." Qin Yuan said. "I see. I thought that I had offended her somehow." Qin Feiyang pursed his lips. Qin Yuan said, "Didn't she ask you for the purple gold dragon blood?" "Yes, yes, yes. That time, the purple gold dragon blood in my body was almost drained by her." Qin Feiyang said. Qin Yuan said, "She just wanted to fuse with the purple gold dragon blood to see if she could recover her white dragon body." "Then, did she recover?" Qin Feiyang asked. "No. But because she fused with the purple gold dragon blood, she also recovered some dragon aura." Qin Yuan said. "Dragon aura. So it's her." Qin Feiyang muttered. He remembered that one time at the ice lake, he sensed a dragon aura. But this dragon aura was like a flash in the pan. He thought it was an illusion and didn't expect it to be the snow python. That's not right. Didn't she know that Yinglong was not dead? Why did she go crazy and kill people? Qin Feiyang said. She didn't know at that time. Because at that time, Yinglong was afraid of implicating her and was also afraid that she would accidentally leak it, so he didn't tell her. Qin Yuan said. Qin Feiyang nodded in realization. Suddenly, he thought that he seemed to have overlooked a more important problem. "Uncle Yuan, just now you said that you reported this matter to the small beast. Does that mean that you can contact the golden small beast?" Qin Feiyang was surprised. "Indeed." Qin Yuan nodded. Qin Feiyang said, "Then quickly contact it." "Contact it for what? Do you want to take back Chang Shui just like that?" "Impossible. Although it is because of it that I became a guardian, in its eyes, I am nothing at all. If I annoy it, it will even kill me." Qin Yuan said. When Qin Feiyang heard this, a trace of disappointment appeared on his face. Don't be discouraged. I believe that with your talent, you will catch up with it sooner or later. At that time, you can find it openly and take back Changshui. Qin Yuan smiled. Okay. Qin Feiyang nodded and asked, should we tell the small beast that Yinglong didn't die and disappeared? I have already thought about this matter. Where it is possible to make mistakes, one should be lenient. Qin Yuan sighed. You are also a kind-hearted person. Qin Feiyang shook his head and said. Good will be rewarded with good. Qin Yuan chuckled. Perhaps. Qin Feiyang smiled faintly and said, also, although Yinglong has opened the eye of destiny, Dong Zhengyang has not. He should be unable to see the future now. No. Dong Zhengyang has also opened the eye of destiny. Qin Yuan said. How is that possible? I have seen Dong Zhengyang's battle soul. It is clearly an ancient mountain, and its special ability is also the gravity domain. Qin Feiyang said. This is only what you see on the surface. Not long ago, Yinglong told me that before the small beast killed him, he used the eye of destiny to see that a young man in the spiritual state would open the eye of destiny after his death. This young man is Dong Zhengyang. Indeed. When he possessed Dong Zhengyang, not only did he open the eye of destiny, but he also opened the battle soul, the ancient mountain. This means that he has two battle souls. However, he usually hides the eye of destiny, and no one knows about it. Qin Yuan said. He can really see the future. Qin Feiyang was shocked. Qin Yuan reminded him, the eye of destiny is very scary. You must be careful when you face him in the future. I know. Qin Feiyang nodded and asked, there is another question. Since Dong Zhengyang is so powerful, why wasn't he sent to the second level by the power of the rules when he entered the miracle site? The eye of destiny can hide one's fate. In other words, no one can discover it. Qin Yuan said. It is indeed very powerful. Qin Feiyang mumbled. Qin Yuan smiled and said, by the way, the 10,000 beasts illustration was given to Dong Zhengyang by the snow python. The 10,000 beasts illustration belongs to the snow python. Qin Feiyang was stunned and asked suspiciously, then why did it fall into the hands of the state preceptor? It has something to do with you. Qin Yuan smiled. Something to do with me? Qin Feiyang didn't understand. Back then, you were wanted by the emperor. Everyone related to you was interrogated by the state preceptor. Including Dong Zhengyang. At that time, Dong Zhengyang wasn't as strong as the state preceptor. The state preceptor felt the aura of the 10,000 beasts illustration and snatched it from Dong Zhengyang. However, I didn't expect it to fall into your hands. You didn't see the snow python's expression when Cui Li took out the 10,000 beasts illustration. Qin Yuan shook his head and smiled. Huh, Qin Feiyang couldn't help but laugh. Qin Yuan smiled and said, all right then, the matters here are almost settled. You can go back to the imperial capital. What about you? Qin Feiyang quickly asked. Qin Yuan said, this old man will first repair the teleportation altar and then find a quiet place to think about some problems. What problems? Qin Feiyang was suspicious. Nothing. Qin Yuan shook his head and smiled. With a wave of his hand, a man and a beast appeared in the void. Who did it? Qin Feiyang looked at the man and the beast with a cold light in his eyes. This man and beast were Tan Wu and the infernal divine hound. Dong Zhengyang. Qin Yuan sighed. This damn bastard. Qin Feiyang was furious. Enough. Dong Zhengyang was merciful. Otherwise, not even their bones would be left. Without bones, you can't resurrect them. And at that time, we didn't find the two of them on the mountain peak. In the end, it was Dong Zhengyang who told this old man. This Tan Wu and the infernal divine hound are both promising talents. Since you want to open the gate of rebirth, you can resurrect them together. Qin Yuan said. I understand. Qin Feiyang nodded and put away the corpses of Tan Wu and the infernal divine hound. Then he sent the sea of blood behind him to the Black Tortoise realm and protected it with a divine force barrier to prevent it from evaporating and spilling down. After all, the cultivation of the creatures in the 9 continents was relatively weak. If they weren't protected, they would evaporate soon. Then let's go. It's already dawn. Don't let everyone wait too long. Qin Yuan waved his hand and disappeared with Qin Feiyang. Please remember the domain name of this book. The mobile version of the literature library reading website, M. Chapter 1874. Butterfly Valley. After this battle, this place had changed beyond recognition. Everyone gathered together, anxiously waiting for Qin Feiyang. After a day and a night of rest, Tang Hai and the others were in good spirits. The inner demons turned to look at Elder Qin and said, "Why don't you return to the capital first and tell Father and the others that you're safe?" After a day and a night, the spatial gate in Elder Qin's hand could be opened. "I'm worried if I don't see Feiyang return." Elder Qin shook his head. "You still have us. Moreover, with my strength now, no one in the entire Great Qin or Forgotten Continent can hurt him." "What are you worried about?" The inner demon smiled. Elder Qin was stunned for a moment, then nodded and said, "That's true. Then I'll go back first." "Go. Go back and tell them in advance so that they can relax." The inner demon said. Old Man Qin took out the replica spacetime gate. Swoosh! However, at this moment, 2 figures, one old and one young, appeared out of thin air. It was Qin Yuan and Qin Feiyang. "Feiyang. Young master." A group of people immediately went up to greet him. Qin Feiyang looked at everyone and smiled apologetically, "I've made you worry." "What nonsense are you talking about?" The mysterious lady rolled her eyes at him and looked at Qin Yuan with a smile. "You must be the Uncle Yuan that Feiyang always talks about." "Yes." Qin Yuan nodded and bowed, "Greetings, madam." Don't. You're the protector of this continent. You can't accept such a great gift." The mysterious lady hurriedly said. "Although I'm a protector, I'm also a citizen of the Great Qin. You're the wife of the previous emperor, so you should be respectful. Moreover, you took care of Feiyang in the Forgotten Continent. I should also thank you." Qin Yuan smiled. "No. The person who should be thanking you is me. If it weren't for you silently protecting the Great Qin all these years, let alone Feiyang, the empire left behind by the previous emperor would have fallen into the hands of others." The mysterious lady said. Looking at how polite the 2 of them were, Qin Feiyang was speechless. "Uncle Yuan, great-grandmother, can you stop flattering me?" The inner demons chimed in, "Yeah, we're a family. Is there a need for that?" Ugh. Qin Yuan and the mysterious madam were dumbfounded. After which, they exchanged glances. The mysterious madam laughed, "I didn't expect that we would be scolded by 2 little brats. However, they are right, we are all family. Being polite would only make us seem distant." "Madam is right." Qin Yuan nodded and smiled. Then, he looked at Qin Feiyang and said, "You guys chat first. I'll go and repair the altar." "All right." Qin Feiyang nodded. Whoosh! Qin Yuan flickered and instantly vanished without a trace. Old Qin sighed and shook his head. This old fellow really concealed his strength deeply. "You know Uncle Yuan?" Qin Feiyang looked at Old Man Qin suspiciously. "Isn't that obvious? When Emperor Chen was still on the throne, I was already a peak 9-star combat emperor. Of course I know Qin Yuan." Old Man Qin rolled his eyes at Qin Feiyang. Qin Feiyang nodded and asked curiously, then what kind of person was Uncle Yuan back then? At that time, he was already a false god. But in my impression, he didn't have any airs of a false god. He was a very low-key person. Usually, when he was by Emperor Chen's side, it was rare to see him say a word. However, I didn't expect him to be the guardian of this continent. Old man Qin shook his head and smiled. The mysterious madam said, "That's the saying, you can't judge a book by its cover." Yeah. Speaking of which, it must have been hard for him to silently protect the great Qin all these years. Old man Qin sighed. It wasn't just hard. Qin Feiyang sighed. He turned around and looked at Zhao Tailai and the other two, as well as the blood Kirin. I don't care if you guys smile in front of me, but you must respect Uncle Yuan. You must respect him from the bottom of your heart, not because of his power. Understood. The 3 people and 2 beasts nodded. The mysterious madam looked at the 3 people and 2 beasts and asked, "Feiyang, why are you suddenly so serious?" "Great-grandmother, there are many things you don't know. Uncle Yuan has sacrificed so much for the great Qin." Qin Feiyang sighed. "What do you mean?" Everyone looked at him curiously. "We talked a lot in Iron Bull Town." Qin Feiyang briefly explained Qin Yuan's situation. "I see. He really is a great old man." After hearing this, everyone's hearts were filled with admiration. After a while, Uncle Yuan appeared again. He looked at everyone and smiled. "The teleportation altar has been repaired." Yi Shu asked, "What about the one to the Forgotten Continent?" Qin Yuan nodded and smiled. "It has been repaired. We can go back at any time." "Thank you," Yi Shu said gratefully. He turned to the mysterious madam and said, "Miss, let's go back." "Okay." The mysterious madam nodded. She looked at Qin Feiyang and the inner demons and said, "Let's go back to the Forgotten Continent. When the situation stabilizes, we will go to the capital and visit your father. Do you need me to ask old Zhao and the others to help you?" Qin Feiyang asked. "That's not necessary. Mu Tianyang and Mu Tianjun are dead. No one can threaten us now. As for the snow python and Dong Zhenyang, I believe they won't do anything to us." The mysterious madam said. Qin Yuan said, "I have already warned the snow python and Dong Zhenyang. They won't do anything stupid." Yi Shu looked at Qin Yuan and bowed. "Brother Qin Yuan, thank you so much. Now the Forgotten Continent has nothing to worry about." "It's nothing. You're welcome." Qin Yuan waved his hand and smiled. To Qin Yuan, this was a piece of cake. However, to the mysterious madam, Yi Shu, and the others, this was great news. The mysterious madam looked at Qin Yuan gratefully. Then, she looked at Qin Feiyang and smiled. "Then we'll be leaving first. You should have a good rest after you go back." "Okay." Qin Feiyang nodded. "You too. Don't think about anything for now. Have a good rest." The mysterious madam patted the inner demon's shoulder and said with a smile. Then, she led Yi Shu and the monkey-faced old man downwards. The secret chamber below had been repaired. The teleportation altar had also been repaired. After the mysterious madam and the other 3 left, Qin Feiyang and the others also bid farewell to Qin Yuan. They opened the fake space-time gate and walked in one after another. Soon, only Qin Yuan was left here. After watching the space-time gate disappear, Qin Yuan took out 4 drops of blood. After a long silence, he looked up at the sky and sighed. Should I believe Dong Zhenyang? Imperial Palace. A day and a night passed. Everyone was still gathered in the throne room. The entire throne room was shrouded in a sadness that couldn't be dispersed. Sigh. Another day and night has passed, and there's still no news from them. It seems that they really died together with the demon ancestor. Emperor Hong sighed and broke the silence. The emperor also looked haggard. He waved his hand weakly and said, "The dead can't be revived. There's no use for us to be sad here. Let's disperse." The civil and military officials looked at each other and silently turned to leave. Lu Zheng painfully closed his eyes. 2 drops of tears quietly fell. Then, he opened a teleportation gate. "Father, great-grandfather, who said we're dead?" But at this moment, a faint laughter sounded outside the palace. This voice, everyone's gaze trembled. They hurriedly looked at the gate. A group of people filed in and entered everyone's line of sight. The leader was Qin Feiyang and the inner demons. "Feiyang, old Qin, am I dreaming?" The emperor slowly got up. Looking at Qin Feiyang and the others, he rubbed his eyes hard. "Father, a living person is standing in front of you. How can it be a dream?" Qin Feiyang said with a smile. "It's not a dream. You're all still alive." The emperor was ecstatic. He quickly walked in front of Qin Feiyang and looked at the familiar face in front of him with tears in his eyes. Emperor Hong, Qin Sheng, and the other 2, as well as the civil and military officials of the court, were also crying tears of joy. Qin Feiyang lowered his head and said, "I'm sorry, father, I've made you worry." Then he looked at Emperor Hong, Lu Zheng, Qin Sheng, and the civil and military officials, and said, "This is my fault. I didn't pass on the good news to you immediately." "Silly child, what are you talking about? It's good that you came back alive." Emperor Hong scolded with a smile. "Yes. As long as you can come back alive, it's more important than anything." The emperor grabbed Qin Feiyang's hand, his whole body trembling. He was afraid that in the next moment, Qin Feiyang would disappear in front of him. "Father," looking at the emperor's haggard face, Qin Feiyang couldn't help but feel sad. He quickly changed the topic and said with a smile, "Father, you have more than one son now." At the same time, he pushed the inner demons in front of the emperor. The inner demons' expression froze, and they were at a loss. Yes. I have more than one son now." Only then did the emperor realize that he had ignored the existence of the inner demons. He quickly grabbed the inner demons' hand and said with a smile, "Child, it's been hard on you. This matter was too sudden. The inner demons really didn't know how to deal with it. Did you see that? No matter how powerful a person is, there will be times when they don't know what to do." Zhao Tailai chuckled. Tang Hai, Old Qin, Cui Li, and the Blood Kirin looked at the inner demons mockingly. Qin Feiyang said helplessly, "This is your fault. We should be encouraging him. Don't worry. The inner demons are very adaptable. He doesn't need our encouragement." The golden leopard laughed. "Can't you say this behind my back? Do you think I won't kill you right now?" The inner demons looked at them angrily and raised his eyebrows. The Blood Kirin coughed and said, "Master inner demons, you have a father now. You should be a filial child." The inner demons' eyes widened in anger. Qin Feiyang smiled helplessly. He looked at the inner demons and said, Okay. Don't you know their personalities? Do you have to be angry with them? I'll deal with you later." The inner demons looked at the Blood Kirin and took a deep breath. He looked at the emperor and bowed. "Greetings, father." Good. The emperor nodded and grabbed the inner demons and Qin Feiyang's hands. He looked happy and proud. He smiled and said, "You are my pride." Chapter 1875. Hearing the emperor's words, Qin Feiyang and the inner demons looked at each other and scratched their heads in embarrassment. Emperor Hong stepped forward and said with a smile, "Feiyang, where are your mother, grandfather, and your grandfather?" "Yeah, why don't I see them?" The emperor also asked. "Are they all in the castle?" Call them out. Lu Jing also walked up and said with a smile. Hearing the three of them, Qin Feiyang and the others looked at each other and lowered their heads in silence. What's wrong? The Emperor and Emperor Hong looked at everyone suspiciously. Lu Jing glanced at Qin Feiyang and the others, and an uneasy premonition immediately rose in his heart. Plop! Suddenly, Qin Feiyang and the inner demons knelt on the ground. What are you doing? The Emperor and Emperor Hong hurriedly reached out, wanting to help the two up. Father, great-grandfather, we were incompetent and couldn't protect Mother and the others. Qin Feiyang lowered his head and said. In this battle, only a few of us came back alive. The inner demon said. What? Emperor Hong's eyes trembled. The Emperor's body also shook violently, and he almost fainted. The three of them and the civil and military officials were also in an uproar. Only a few of you came back alive. What about Hong He? Lu Jing also looked at Qin Feiyang and the others with a dull face and asked. Lu Hong has also died in battle. Qin Feiyang sighed. You bastard. Lu Jing suddenly went crazy, stepped forward and grabbed Qin Feiyang's clothes, roaring, didn't you say that you would protect her well? I'm sorry, Qin Feiyang whispered. What's the use of being sorry? Lu Jing roared, raised his fist, and punched Qin Feiyang's face. Qin Feiyang did not resist. But just as Lu Jing's fist was about to land on Qin Feiyang's face, he suddenly stopped. Qin Feiyang raised his head and looked at Lu Jing suspiciously. He saw that Lu Jing's eyes were closed and his expression was full of pain. After a long time, Lu Jing let go of Qin Feiyang and lowered his arms. He opened his eyes and looked at Qin Feiyang. I didn't even participate in the battle. What right do I have to scold you? Cousin, Qin Feiyang murmured. All right, it was my fault just now. I was impulsive and almost beat you up. It's also because I'm useless. I can't even protect the woman I love. I'm living in such a sorry state. Lu Jing shook his head. Qin Feiyang looked at Lu Jing worriedly and comforted him. Cousin, it's not your fault. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. Lu Jing squeezed out a smile. Feiyang, since you're still alive, why can't I contact you? And Lu Jing and I have been to the Demon Dragon Island, but we didn't see you. Emperor Hong said. After the demon ancestor and Snow were defeated, they fled to the Forgotten Continent. We also killed our way to the Forgotten Continent and killed Mu Tianyang and Mu Tianjun on the way. Qin Feiyang said. What? Even Mu Tianyang and Mu Tianjun have been killed. Emperor Hong, the Emperor, and the civil and military officials all looked at each other. That's right. The battle is over. Qin Feiyang said. Emperor Hong asked, what about the Mermaid Clan? Qin Feiyang said with a smile, the Mermaid Clan has also been killed by us. Great. Now our great Qin is finally at peace. Emperor Hong laughed. Yes. The Emperor was also very excited. He looked at Qin Feiyang and the inner demons and said, you are not only the pride of your father, but the pride of the entire great Qin. And you, the Emperor looked at old man Qin, Zhao Tai Lai, and the blood Kirin, bowed and said, thank you, please accept my bow. Your Majesty, you can't do that. Old man Qin hurriedly said. No. This bow is what you deserve. Without you, the fate of our great Qin is unimaginable. After the Emperor finished speaking, he bowed deeply to everyone. The three of them looked at each other, then at Zhao Tai Lai and the others and said, please accept our bow. And us. The civil and military officials also bowed. Lu Jing looked at everyone, then looked at Qin Feiyang and said with a smile, well done, I'll go back now and tell the good news to second grandpa and the others. Qin Feiyang asked, are you really okay? Don't worry. Your cousin is not that weak. Plus, I know what you're thinking. Hong won't die. Lu Jing smiled, then opened the portal and left. The emperor smiled and said, Lu Jing, this kid really likes Lu Hong. Yes. Qin Feiyang nodded. The emperor's face became serious. He looked at Qin Feiyang and said, but Feiyang, I still won't allow you to open the door of rebirth. And I believe that your mother won't allow you to do so either. Qin Feiyang was silent for a while, then smiled and said, Father, it's rare that we won a battle. Let's not talk about this first. The emperor frowned, then turned around and stepped onto the dragon throne. He looked at the civil and military officials and shouted, write the decree. Not long after. A eunuch came out from behind with a brush, ink, paper, and an inkstone. He stood respectfully behind the emperor. Announce it to the world. First, restore Qin Feiyang's status as a prince, and crown Qin Feiyang as the crown prince of the Great Qin. Second, restore Lu Qiuyu's position as the empress. Third, confer Elder Qin the title of the Great Qin state preceptor. Fourth, Zhao Tailai, Cui Li, and Tang Hai are conferred as the great generals of the nation. Fifth, the Blood Qilin and the Golden Divine Leopard are conferred as the divine beasts of the Great Qin. Sixth, reveal the evil deeds of the demon ancestor. Seventh, pay respects to the souls of the dead in battle. The entire throne room was filled with the emperor's loud voice. The eunuch beside him rode at a fast speed. The civil and military officials returned to the imperial court and listened quietly. Qin Feiyang's face was already covered in tears. It was not for restoring his status as a prince, nor was it for the title of crown prince. He was only happy for his mother. Over the years, his mother had suffered too much. He had always hated himself for being useless and unable to protect his mother. So, he worked hard to let his mother regain the respect she deserved. Now, he finally did it. His biggest goal in returning to the imperial capital this time was to clear his mother's name. Since he had waited for this moment, he could leave without regrets. Boom! Qin Feiyang waved his hand, and the space-time gate awakened. The emperor and Emperor Hong were stunned and hurriedly called out, Feiyang, where are you going? I'm going to do what I should do. The position of crown prince should be left to my younger brother. Qin Feiyang smiled at the two of them and turned to enter the space-time gate without hesitation. Great-grandfather, father, you know what I think. Don't force yourself. The inner demons looked at the two of them with a smile and followed them into the space-time gate. Tang Hai and the other two looked at each other. Zhao Tailai cupped his hands and said, Your Majesty, we don't need any great generals of the nation, because we will always follow in the footsteps of the young master. After saying that, the three of them also entered the space-time gate. And us? What divine beast of the nation, we don't care at all. In the future, as long as you love the people as your children, don't let our efforts go to waste. Seeing this, the Blood Qilin and the Golden Divine Leopard also said something to the emperor and quickly chased after Qin Feiyang and the others. Boom! Soon. The space-time gate dissipated. In the imperial court, Qin Sheng and the other two, as well as the civil and military officials, all looked at each other. They left just like that. The emperor was also stunned. He looked at Emperor Hong and said, Great-grandfather, this, Emperor Hong's veins bulged as he said angrily, what a group of annoying fellows. This old man will chase them back. Old Qin stopped Emperor Hong and shook his head, Emperor Hong, don't go. Emperor Hong said angrily, Old Qin, why even you, Feiyang and the others are not here? Why force it? Moreover, do you think that if you chase after them, they will change their minds? Old Qin shook his head. But, Emperor Hong frowned. Enough, don't force it. Old man Qin waved his hand and raised his head to look at the emperor. He smiled and said, Your Majesty, I can understand your feelings, but I understand Qin Feiyang's feelings even more. Don't force these things onto him. The emperor lowered his head and fell silent. Fine. Let them be. Emperor Hong sighed deeply and said. The emperor looked at Emperor Hong and said, then this imperial edict, the imperial edict can be changed. Actually, Feiyang just wants to get everyone's recognition and clear his mother's name. Old Qin said. All right. The emperor nodded helplessly and looked at Old Qin, then you definitely can't run away from the position of state preceptor. Old Qin smiled and said, okay, this old man will reluctantly be the state preceptor of Great Qin. Qin Feiyang and the others had already run away. If even he ran away, wouldn't the emperor be angered to death? Reluctantly. The emperor was speechless. Spirit State. Butterfly Valley. Qin Feiyang looked at the inner demons and the others, and said speechlessly, why did you guys run here too? What? As soon as the battle is over, you want to abandon us? Zhao Tailai was dissatisfied. You know I didn't mean that. Whether it's the national general or the guardian divine beast, this is the honor you deserve. Qin Feiyang said. We are the dignified god of war, why would we care about this? The golden divine leopard disdained. Qin Feiyang, look, I have made a great contribution this time. This true god body in the matter of guarding the great Qin, can you? The blood Kirin looked at Qin Feiyang nervously. Back then, Qin Feiyang had said that he wanted it to oversee the great Qin Empire and protect the little prince. Qin Feiyang looked at the blood Kirin and then at Zhao Tailai and the others. He smiled and said, are you willing to accept it as your companion? The blood Kirin immediately looked at Zhao Tailai and the others. This, Zhao Tailai and the others looked at each other and sized up the blood Kirin. They were silent. Old Zhao, Old Tang, Chui Li, Junior Leopard, whether you are a human or a beast, you have to have a conscience. Ask yourselves, how have I treated you? The blood Kirin said anxiously. Not much. Zhao Tailai pouted. Indeed. Tang Hai, Chui Li, and the golden divine leopard nodded. You, the blood Kirin stared at them angrily. Haha, Zhao Tailai suddenly laughed and said, I was just teasing you. Did you really take it seriously? Come on, welcome to the team. Zhao Tailai opened his arms and hugged the blood Kirin. The blood Kirin was shocked. It excitedly jumped on Zhao Tailai and stuck out its red tongue, covering Zhao Tailai's face with saliva. Thank you. Thank you so much. The blood Kirin looked at the three people and the beast gratefully and smiled. Qin Feiyang and the inner demons looked at each other and smiled. They looked around, but they didn't see Uncle Yuan. It seemed that he had left. Shua. But suddenly, an old figure appeared. It was Yi Shu. Genius memorized this address in 1 second. Mobile reading website, M. Chapter 1876. Yi Shu. Qin Feiyang and the inner demons were taken aback. The blood Kirin, the golden leopard, and Zhao Tailai all looked at Yi Shu. Old man Yi, you're missing us already. The blood Kirin was in a good mood. I'm not in the mood to play around with you. Yi Shu glanced at it, then walked over to Qin Feiyang and the inner demons. He said in a low voice, guys, something strange has happened on the Forgotten Continent. What is it? Qin Feiyang and the inner demons looked at each other suspiciously. When we return to the glacier forest, we plan to return to the central divine kingdom. But suddenly, we sensed that the glacier forest was covered by an invisible power. And we also discovered that this power is everywhere. It can even enter our bodies and steal our blood and life force. Yi Shu said. Everywhere. Steal blood and life force. Qin Feiyang and the others were shocked. How could this be the same as when Zhuge Mingyang was reborn? Wait. The blood Kirin suddenly said. What is it? Everyone turned to look at it. The blood Kirin paused for a moment, then looked at the inner demons and asked, did the master, Zhuge Shenfeng, and the imperial teacher fall out of the demon tower? Yes. The inner demons nodded. Oh, no. The blood Kirin's eyes dimmed. Zhao Tailai said, don't be so surprised. Tell us what you know. The blood Kirin said, the inheritance of the immortal demon art is inside the demon tower. Qin Feiyang's pupils shrank as he said, you're saying that Chief Pagoda Master and the others received the inheritance of the undying demon technique? That must be it. Because of the continuous battles, I forgot about it. The Master and the others hate you to the core. I don't think the Demon Alpha would let go of this opportunity, the blood Kirin said. Yi Shu nodded. So, the Imperial Teacher and the others are now reviving? The blood Kirin nodded. Cui Li was puzzled, since the immortal demon technique is so powerful, why didn't you and Sima Yuan cultivate it? Because cultivating the undying demon art has a fatal side effect. If you can't cultivate it, you can only rely on being killed to break through. Furthermore, cultivating the undying demon art requires an extremely strong hatred. As for me, Sima Yuan and the others, although we were enemies at that time, it is not to the extent that we hated you. As for Lin Yi, although she hated you all greatly after losing her memories, the demon ancestor was unwilling to let her cultivate the undying demon technique because she had awakened the eyes of oblivion. The blood Kirin explained. The inner demons looked at Qin Feiyang and said, so it's just as we thought. You've already guessed. The blood Kirin was shocked. Qin Feiyang said, we've thought of that before, but we haven't been able to confirm it. The blood Kirin glanced at everyone and said in a deep voice, everyone, this matter must not be taken lightly. The imperial teacher had already broken through to the warlord realm at the miracle site. If he succeeds in reviving this time, he will be a lesser tier warlord. Yi Shu looked at Qin Feiyang and said, Feiyang, the blood Kirin is right. We must think of a way to stop them from reviving. Qin Feiyang's eyes flashed coldly, and he said, there's no time to lose. Let's go to the glacier forest immediately. Everyone nodded. Whoosh! Immediately. The group plunged into the ground below. Glacier forest. At this moment, the mysterious madam, the monkey-faced old man, and the aquiline-nosed old man stood in the void, looking down with gloomy expressions. Whoosh! After a while, Yi Shu led Qin Feiyang and the others to the three. The mysterious madam apologized, Feiyang, I wanted you to have a good rest, but now I have to trouble you again. I'm really sorry. Why are you saying this? Qin Feiyang smiled and said, Old man Yi already knows about the situation. We guessed that Zhuge Shenfeng, the chief tower master, has cultivated the immortal demon technique. Bastard! The mysterious madam cursed. Qin Feiyang asked, what's the situation now? This force has already entered the second area. Fortunately, the young lady killed all the creatures in the first and second areas back then. Not many creatures are left now. Otherwise, they might have been revived. The monkey-faced old man and the other two said. Qin Feiyang said, it's still under control. The mysterious madam asked, Feiyang, do you have a way to get rid of them? Not before. But now, after seeing Zhuge Mingyang revive again and again, I've figured out the trick. Qin Feiyang said. Tell me. The mysterious madam urged. The immortal demon technique's revival process is very long and requires a lot of qi. I think they have almost condensed some flesh now. As long as we find this flesh and crush it again, we should be able to get rid of them. Qin Feiyang said. The method that Qin Feiyang spoke of is feasible. However, the people that will be doing it later cannot be you all. The blood Kirin looked at Qin Feiyang and the inner demons and said. What? Don't tell me that now that we've shattered their flesh, they'll be reborn. The inner demon said. Yes. If you do it, no matter how many times you kill them, they will revive again. That's why the immortal demon technique is so overbearing. The blood Kirin said. Phew. Qin Feiyang exhaled and released his divine will, covering the ground below. With his current cultivation base, not to mention flesh and blood, even if there was only a weak aura, he could easily find the source. He searched for the invisible force and found the source in less than 10 breaths. Shwa! Qin Feiyang stepped forward and landed in front of a wide crack. The source was inside this crack. Qin Feiyang said, "Blood Kirin, go down and look for it." Okay. The blood Kirin's body quickly shrank until it was about half a meter long. I'm afraid that even if we seal them, we won't be able to seal this power. Yi Shu said. That's easy. Find Uncle Yuan or the Snow Python. With their strength, it will be easy to seal Zhuge Shenfeng and the Chief Tower Master. Qin Feiyang smiled. No, no, no. Don't find the Snow Python. If she secretly does something, then the 2 continents will be in chaos again. Let's find Uncle Yuan. We trust him. The inner demon said. Qin Feiyang nodded. Am I so weak in your eyes? Before the inner demons finished speaking, a cold snort suddenly sounded. Swoosh! Immediately after, the snow python appeared in the void next to them. Zhao Tailai and the others immediately became vigilant. The snow python smiled disdainfully and looked directly at the inner demons. Do you remember what I said? When the slaughter domain is over, I will let you know the consequences of angering me. I'm standing right here. Do you dare to kill me? The inner demons laughed proudly. Are you still provoking me? The snow python's eyes were filled with killing intent. You have to think carefully. Yinglong was killed. You have been punished by the golden small beast by turning your body into a snow python. If you continue to kill the innocent, it may directly kill you. Qin Feiyang was not afraid and looked at the snow python mockingly. The snow python's eyes suddenly showed a trace of anger. Qin Yuan, you old bastard, how dare you tell them all this? Before it finished speaking, Qin Yuan appeared out of thin air and said with a smile, I'm just telling the truth. Why are you so angry? Bastard, it's all your fault. The snow python roared. It's been so many years. Why are you still holding a grudge? Qin Yuan shook his head and sighed. He looked at Qin Feiyang and said, give their flesh and blood to me. I will seal them in the sea of reincarnation and the endless sea. Thank you, Uncle Yuan. Qin Feiyang said with a smile. The endless sea. But the mysterious lady, Yi Shu, and the other 2 were stunned. Genius remembered this site's address in a second. Top mobile version website, M. Chapter 1877. The endless ocean wasn't in the forgotten continent. What did that mean? Qin Yuan smiled and said, Zhuge Shenfeng is sealed in the reincarnation ocean. The Chief Tower Master is sealed in the endless ocean. Don't. Lord Guardian, we don't care what the Great Qin does, but you can't harm the forgotten continent. The monkey-faced old man hurriedly said. The Chief Tower Master is one of your people, so it's reasonable for him to be sealed in the endless ocean. Qin Yuan said. No. These years, the forgotten continent has been in a mess because of the Chief Tower Master. We can't let this kind of person stay in the forgotten continent. The monkey-faced old man shook his head. Yi Shu and the hook-nosed old man also expressed their opinions. They could either kill the Chief Tower Master directly or seal him in the Great Qin. The forgotten continent would not accept this. Qin Yuan looked at the 3 of them, then looked at the mysterious lady and asked with a smile, what do you think? The mysterious lady hesitated. Seeing this, the monkey-faced old man hurriedly said, Miss, this is not a small matter, you must think carefully. The mysterious lady pondered for a while, then looked at the monkey-faced old man and said, "Actually, doing this can also be a training for the disciples of the chief tower. As expected of the Qin emperor's wife, you have foresight." Qin Yuan chuckled and said. The old hand grabbed at the air, and Zhuge Shenfeng and the chief tower master's flesh immediately flew into the air and landed in his palm. "Miss, you're muddle-headed." The monkey-faced old man sighed. Wasn't this leaving a disaster for the forgotten continent? Without pressure, there is no motivation. I believe that the disciples of the chief tower will be able to solve all of this. The mysterious lady smiled and said. Seeing that the mysterious lady had made up her mind, the monkey-faced old man could only sigh helplessly. "White Dragon, can you stop bullying them? I'm really tired from running around like this." Qin Yuan looked at the snow python and said helplessly. The snow python said angrily, "Which eye of yours saw me bullying them? If that's the case, why don't you accompany me to the endless ocean? After all, the forgotten continent is your territory. I can't make decisions without permission." Qin Yuan smiled. "You still know that this is my territory? You want to seal the chief pagoda master in the endless ocean? Did you ask me first?" The snow python said angrily. "Aren't I discussing this with you?" Qin Yuan chuckled. "You've already made up your mind. How is this a discussion?" The more the snow python spoke, the angrier it became. All right, don't be so petty. Actually, the reason why I'm here is because there are some things that I'd like to consult you about," Qin Yuan said. The snow python frowned and glanced at Qin Feiyang and the others before leaving with Qin Yuan. "Feiyang, what's the deal with the winged dragon you mentioned earlier? Also, why did Qin Yuan call the snow python a white dragon?" After Qin Feiyang and the snow python left, the mysterious lady looked suspiciously at Qin Feiyang and asked. "Yinglong is the predecessor of Dong Zhenyang. The white dragon is the true body of the snow python," Qin Feiyang said. "What? You mean, both of them are Shenlong?" The mysterious lady was surprised. Qin Feiyang nodded. Everyone looked at each other. This was too unexpected. Qin Feiyang said with a smile, "The state preceptor and the other two have been dealt with. You guys should go back now." "What about you?" the mysterious lady asked. Qin Feiyang said, "I want to walk around." The mysterious lady smiled and said, "All right then. When you have time, come to the central divine kingdom to play." Qin Feiyang nodded. The mysterious lady opened a portal and looked at Yi Shu and the others. "Let's go." "Wait a minute." The monkey-faced old man suddenly thought of something. He looked at Qin Feiyang and said with a flattering smile, "Little guy, there's something we need to discuss." Qin Feiyang said with a smile, "Senior, please go ahead." The monkey-faced old man stammered as if there was something difficult and he was too embarrassed to speak. "You old man." The mysterious lady glared at the monkey-faced old man and said, "Feiyang, he wants to ask you if you can return that divine bow to him." "Divine bow?" Qin Feiyang was surprised. "Is it this one?" The golden leopard took out a divine bow. Yes. The monkey-faced old man nodded. "That won't do. This divine bow has fought with this emperor for so long, this emperor has developed a deep affection for it." The golden leopard held the divine bow and guarded against the monkey-faced old man like he was guarding against a thief. The monkey-faced old man's expression immediately shrank. Qin Feiyang shook his head and smiled. He looked at the golden leopard and said, "Give it to him." "Young master, the golden leopard was extremely anxious. Zhao Tailai looked at it with disdain, saying, "Are you stupid? Following the young master, you don't have to worry about not having a divine artifact." The golden leopard was stunned, then chuckled, "That's true. Old man, here you go." Saying so, he threw the divine bow to the monkey-faced old man. Thank you. The monkey-faced old man was ecstatic and thanked him repeatedly. Then we'll be going. The mysterious lady looked at Qin Feiyang and said. Oh, right. If Pei Yi, Li He, and Li Yan are still alive, take good care of them in the future. Qin Feiyang said. Okay. The mysterious lady nodded and then left with Yi Shu and the others. Zhao Tailai asked, Young master, where are we going next? You guys fought with me as soon as you came out of the divine sight. Now that the battle is over, you guys can go to the 2 continents and have a good time. Qin Feiyang said with a smile. Tang Hai said, that's what I was thinking. Then go. When you're tired, come to the Spirit State's Iron Bull town to find me. Oh right, Blood Kirin. When we entered the divine sight, I gave the old man an ancient tower. Do you know who has it? Qin Feiyang asked. The Blood Kirin thought for a moment and said, Are you talking about the space divine item in the old man's hands? Qin Feiyang nodded. The Blood Kirin said, when the demon ancestor went into seclusion to fuse with the divine body, he seemed to have given it to Sima Kuan. Sima Kuan, Qin Feiyang pondered for a while, then looked at Tang Hai and the others. I remember that we didn't destroy Sima Kuan's god body. When you go out to play, go to the Sea of Reincarnation. You must find that ancient pagoda. Is there anything in it? Zhao Tailai asked. I buried Ren Wushuang's father in that ancient tower. Since we're going to open the gate of reincarnation, we'll revive him along with it. Qin Feiyang said. I see. Zhao Tailai nodded and said, if that's the case, let's go to the Sea of Reincarnation first so that Sima Kuan's divine body won't be damaged by the sea beasts. Sima Kuan is a low-level war god. Those sea beasts can't do anything to his divine body. But we can find him first. Qin Feiyang smiled. Then let's go. Qin Feiyang waved his hand and led the group back to the spiritual state. Then, they parted ways. Tang Hai and the other 2 went to the imperial capital with the golden leopard and went to the Sea of Reincarnation. Qin Feiyang, on the other hand, opened a teleportation door and descended on top of a large mountain. The mountain was devastated. It had also been destroyed by the mermaid clan. What is this place? The Blood Kirin asked curiously. Qin Feiyang said, this is the Black Bear Mountain. There used to be a Black Bear King here who saved my life. But in the end, he and his children were killed by evil people. I buried them here with my own hands. You want to revive them too? The Blood Kirin asked. Since there's a chance, I'll definitely revive them together. But so many years have passed and the mermaid clan has destroyed them. I don't know if their bodies are still there. Qin Feiyang said and released his immortal will to the mountain below. Soon. A smile appeared on his face. As he waved his hand, the ground below cracked and 2 rotten skulls, one big and one small, broke out of the ground. Long time no see, old friend. Qin Feiyang looked at the big skull and murmured with a smile. Although the Black Bear King had been dead for many years, with Qin Feiyang's current cultivation, he could tell that these were the remains of the Black Bear King and his son. The Blood Kirin sighed, you even remember such a small figure. You are indeed a person who values friendship. How can I forget your kindness? Qin Feiyang whispered. Back then, he was poisoned. Even the antidote pill couldn't cure him and he almost died. In the end, the Black Bear King used the life blood pill to change his blood and saved his life. And the Black Bear King's death was also because of him. So. He had always felt guilty about the Black Bear King's death. At the same time, the death of an old man was also a pain in his heart. This old man was Feng Ling Heir's grandfather, Feng Cheng. Feng Cheng and the Black Bear King died at the same time. But Feng Cheng wasn't buried here. Back then, he gave Feng Cheng's body to Luo Xiong. Luo Xiong was the hall master of the Pill Hall in Black Bear City. So, Feng Cheng should be buried in the Pill Hall Cemetery in Black Bear City. But now, Black Bear City had been destroyed by the Merfolk clan. Corpses were everywhere. It wasn't easy to find where Feng Cheng was buried. However, no matter what, he had to find Feng Cheng's remains. After half a day of searching in Black Bear City, he finally found a piece of Feng Cheng's remains. Then, he went to Pan County. He went to Pan County for Fatso. Fatso had followed him for so many years. Even if he didn't contribute, he had worked hard. So, he also wanted to revive Fatso's parents and family. Back then, Situ Hai had brought him to the Situ family's cemetery. But when Qin Feiyang arrived at the cemetery, he didn't find a single bone. After all, they had been dead for too long. Their bones had been lost over time and turned into a pile of yellow soil. This made him feel rather regretful. But there was nothing he could do. Without bones, he couldn't be revived. As for the others, for example, Lu Yun, Ji Shui, Elder Wan, Li Ji, and so on. These people had all taken good care of him. And they had all died in this disaster. So, he had already collected everyone's blood. After doing all this, Qin Feiyang returned to Iron Bull Town. There were still many bones buried under Iron Bull Town. Among them was Zhao Shuang, Er's grandfather. And he had deep feelings for Iron Bull Town, so he took away all the bones. Finally, Qin Feiyang brought the inner demons and the blood Kirin back to the place where he used to live. This place had also been destroyed by the Merfolk clan. It was beyond recognition. Genius remembered the address of this site in 1 second. Mobile version of reading website, M. Chapter 1878. Looking at the unrecognizable scene, Qin Feiyang's expression was extremely melancholic. The inner demons comforted him, "It's all in the past. Don't be sad." Qin Feiyang nodded and smiled. "I still prefer this place." The inner demon said, "Then you can stay here and study the Gate of Rebirth." The Gate of Rebirth had to be fully comprehended to be able to revive billions of lives. "You're not going to stop me?" Qin Feiyang looked at the inner demons in surprise. "Would it work if I stopped you? But I still want to say something. If you open the Gate of Rebirth now, at most, you will completely lose your talent for cultivation and can live for a few more decades. However, if you are to comprehend the Gate of Reincarnation to perfection, you will most definitely lose your life." The inner demon said. "I know. But if I open the Gate of Rebirth now, I can't revive everyone. What's the point of doing that? No. Since I've made up my mind to open the Gate of Rebirth, I naturally have to revive everyone." Qin Feiyang smiled. "Up to you." The inner demons sighed helplessly. Qin Feiyang said, "Then help me restore this place to how it was before." The inner demons nodded and turned to the blood Kirin. "Come and help." The blood Kirin looked at Qin Feiyang and sighed inwardly. Then, it followed the inner demons and got busy. It also didn't want Qin Feiyang to die. But even the inner demons couldn't persuade him, let alone the blood Kirin. Qin Feiyang entered Ling Yunfei's space treasure. Everything was the same as before. Under an old tree, a giant wolf lay on the ground, exuding an ethereal aura. It was the white-eyed wolf. Because it had been comprehending the profound meaning of becoming a god, it had avoided this disaster. Qin Feiyang observed silently for a while. He did not disturb the white-eyed wolf and went to visit the blood-devouring bees before entering the black tortoise world. Above the Devil's Land, 2 blood seas were suspended. A sea of blood, precisely the blood of the creatures of the 9 great provinces. The other sea of blood was the blood of the living beings of the Black Tortoise realm, deliberately left behind by the inner demons. "Young master. The 9 divine beasts guarding the herb field sensed Qin Feiyang's aura and flew up one after another, landing behind Qin Feiyang. Qin Feiyang waved his hand, and the mountain of corpses and the sea of blood in the castle appeared. Among them were his mother, grandfather, the little prince, old master Ren Wushuang, Yan Wei, and so on. Qin Feiyang looked at the 9 beast emperors and reminded them, "You must protect the blood and corpses well." "Yes." The 9 beast emperors nodded. Qin Feiyang flashed again and landed in the sky above the desert. In the storm below, a blurry figure stood in the void, constantly devouring the undead around it. That figure was the female undead. Qin Feiyang said, "Haven't you condensed a flesh and blood yet?" The undead raised her head and looked at Qin Feiyang, smiling. "When I devour all the undead here, I should be able to condense a flesh and blood." "Then you continue." Qin Feiyang smiled and left the black tortoise world, entering the castle. The time laws of the castle were different from before. Now, 1 day was equal to 1 year. In other words, even if he was in seclusion for 100 years in the castle, only 10 days would have passed outside. Without thinking too much, Qin Feiyang sat cross-legged on the ground, calmed his heart, and began to comprehend the gate of reincarnation. That night, the inner demons and the blood Kirin completed their mission. The lake that had disappeared appeared again. A brand new small courtyard was located next to the lake. At night, the waning moon hung in the sky, and the cold stars dotted the sky. The blood Kirin stood in front of the courtyard and shook its head. "I didn't expect that our god of war would be doing such mundane things. What a waste of talent." The inner demon said, "But don't you feel a sense of accomplishment watching all this?" "A little. And there is a very warm feeling." The blood Kirin nodded. "This is home." The inner demons murmured. "Home." The blood Kirin was silent for a moment. After a while, it said, "When I was with the demon Alpha, home was too far away for me. I never thought I could really have it. Don't you have it now?" The inner demons laughed. "Yes. This emperor will definitely cherish everything that I have now," said the emperor. The blood Kirin said. The inner demons laughed and said, "Not bad. Good awareness. Do you have wine on you? Let's have a few drinks." "Wine? No." The blood Kirin shook its head. "You don't, but I do." A hoarse laugh rang out in the night sky. The inner demons and the blood Kirin looked up and saw an old man in black standing in the void above. The inner demons said in surprise, "Why aren't you enjoying life in the imperial capital? What are you doing here?" It was Elder Qin. "I was afraid that you would be lonely, so I brought you wine." Elder Qin landed beside the inner demons and smiled. "Come on. Don't think that we don't know. You must have been asked by Father to persuade us. Like I said, we are not interested in the crown prince of Great Qin or the throne of the emperor." The inner demon said. "You guessed wrong this time. His Majesty didn't know that I was in the spiritual state. Besides, His Majesty has given up and won't persuade you anymore." Elder Qin smiled. "Really?" The inner demons asked. "More real than real gold." Elder Qin said. "Then we welcome you. Blood Kirin, hurry up and get some game." The inner demon said. "My lord inner demons, the 9 continents have been slaughtered. Where can I get game for you?" The blood Kirin said helplessly. The inner demon said, "Aren't the corpses of those beasts still here?" The blood Kirin quickly waved its claws and said, "No, no, no. It's disgusting to eat them. Disgusting my ass. You even dare to eat us humans. Why are you afraid of these?" The inner demon rolled her eyes and shouted, "Go and get some beasts with good meat. Otherwise, I'll chop off your claws and serve them with wine. Qilin's claws should taste good, right? Right away." Hearing this, the blood Kirin's body trembled. It immediately flew into the sky and disappeared into the night sky. Elder Qin couldn't help but shake his head and laugh when he saw the blood Kirin running for its life. He looked around and asked the inner demons, "Where is Feiyang?" "He is in the castle, learning the gate of rebirth." The inner demons pouted. "Silly boy." Elder Qin shook his head and sighed. "Why do you care? If he wants to die, let him die." The inner demons said coldly. Elder Qin rolled his eyes. "Don't talk nonsense. Bring out the wine. This is the first time I have drunk since I created my body. Tonight, let's get drunk." The inner demons laughed. "Okay. I am willing to risk my life to accompany you." Elder Qin smiled. "How can you drink without me?" Another voice rang out. Lu Jing flew through the air and landed in front of the two. "Why are you here, kid?" The inner demons was shocked. Hey, hey. I am Qin Feiyang's cousin. "Of course, I am your cousin. Can you show some respect?" Lu Jing said angrily. The inner demons looked at him with disdain. "I am already giving you face by calling you kid. I don't care about that face." Lu Jing rolled his eyes at the inner demons and bowed to Elder Qin. "Greetings, Elder." Elder Qin smiled and asked, "How is the Lu family?" "Everyone is doing well. The Bai Sima has disappeared. Second Grandpa said that you should visit the Lu family more often when you are free." Lu Jing said. "There will be plenty of time." Elder Qin smiled. The inner demons looked at Lu Jing and said, "Kid, about Lu Hong." Without waiting for the inner demon to finish speaking, Lu Jing said angrily, "Can you not bring up a sore spot?" Okay. I won't mention it. But this time, when Lu Hong is resurrected, you have to seize this opportunity." The inner demons said meaningfully. "Do I need you to tell me that?" Lu Jing glared at him angrily. Soon, the blood Kirin came back carrying a boar. That night, whether it was the inner demons or Lu Jing, they were all drunk. Especially the inner demons. The first time he had touched wine, he immediately fell in love with the feeling. "I really don't understand. Wine is such a good thing. Why don't I like it?" "You still don't understand. My little cousin is a person without emotions." I agree with this sentence very much. Those men who don't drink are not men at all. In the future, we two brothers have to work together against outsiders. The inner demons roared. "Yes, work together against outsiders. Wait, no, he is the real cousin. You are a fake, but I like you very much. In the future, you are the real one, and he is a fake." The two shook their heads, and their bodies reeked of alcohol. "I am the real one. He is a fake." The inner demons asked drunkenly. "Yes. Let me tell you, I have disliked him for a long time. He has nothing to do all day, but he always goes to flirt with Hong Er. If it wasn't for Hong Er's sake, I would have beaten him to death." Lu Jing said angrily. "I support you. But little cousin, you really like Lu Hong?" "Of course. My love for her is higher than the sky, thicker than the earth, and bigger than the sea." Then roar. Roar. Roar a few times. Let me hear it. Okay, roar. Hong Er, I love you. Hong Er, I really can't live without you. Come back. Seeing the two of them with their arms around each other's shoulders and crying like ghosts and wolves, Old Qin and the blood Kirin couldn't help but shake their heads and laugh. "I have a feeling that the inner demons will cause a lot of trouble in the future because of drinking," the blood Kirin said. Old Qin nodded. "I feel the same." Old Qin nodded. The blood Kirin looked at the inner demons and said, "Old Qin, there is something I need to tell you." "What is it?" Old Qin asked suspiciously. The Grand Master is dead, but Zhuge Shenfeng is not. Qin Yuan sealed him in the reincarnation sea. The young master left him as a stepping stone for the little prince. You should pay attention to him. The blood Kirin said. Old Qin was silent for a while and sighed. Fei Yang has really put in a lot of effort for the little prince. It can't be helped. The little prince is the only heir to the throne. I just hope that in the future, the little prince will not be blinded by hatred and lead the great Qin astray. The blood Kirin said. Don't worry. I will teach him well. Emperor Hong and His Majesty will also work hard to untie the knot in the little prince's heart. If there comes a day when he becomes unreasonable, I will kill him with my own hands. Old Qin smiled. The blood Kirin nodded. With Old Qin's words, the future of the great Qin would be assured. Please remember the domain name of this book. Literature Library Mobile Version Website. Chapter 1879. In the blink of an eye, 10 days had passed. Old Man Qin and Lu Jing did not leave during these 10 days. The inner demons did not go to the castle either. They were afraid of disturbing Qin Fei Yang. That evening, Zhao Tailai, Cui Li, Tang Hai, and the Golden Leopard came. They were all in high spirits. Old Man Qin smiled. It seems that you guys have had a good time these 10 days. I haven't been so relaxed in a long time. If old Tang didn't rush us back, we would have stayed for a few more days. Zhao Tailai said. Since it's a trip, we should have a good time. Why are you in such a hurry to come back? Old Man Qin was suspicious. I'm worried about the young master. I'm afraid I won't have a chance to see the young master again. Zhao Tailai sighed. Tang Hai frowned. Old Man Zhao, can you shut your mouth? Didn't you say that? Why are you scolding me now? Zhao Tailai was helpless. He looked at the inner demons and the blood Kirin and asked, how is the young master now? The blood Kirin said, for the past 10 days, he has been in the castle learning the gate of rebirth. He hasn't come out even once. Zhao Tailai was silent for a moment and sighed. It seems that the young master is planning to revive everyone. Is there a difference between reviving everyone and reviving only a part of them? Old Man Qin was suspicious. Of course there is a difference. If the gate of rebirth is only at the initial stages, then the young master still has a chance to live. But if he has fully mastered the gate of rebirth, then he will definitely die when he opens the gate of rebirth. Zhao Tailai said. What? Old Man Qin's eyes trembled. Cui Li said, that's why we rushed back. We were afraid that we wouldn't even have a chance to see him one last time. Shut up. Tang Hai shouted. Zhao Tailai and Cui Li looked at Zhao Tailai and lowered their heads in silence. The atmosphere at the scene was extremely heavy. There's nothing to worry about. The young master has done so much for great Qin. I believe that good people will be rewarded. The Golden Leopard smiled. Yes. Heaven's Eye, of course, will not let a bad person go. Come, come, come. Lord Inner Demon, let's drink together. Zhao Tailai said. The atmosphere became lively again. However, the haze on Old Man Qin's face did not dissipate. In the blink of an eye, another 3 months passed. In addition to the previous 10 days, it was a total of 100 days. Of that, Qin Fei Yang has already been in seclusion in the ancient castle for 100 years. During this time, Inner Demon, Zhao Tailai, and the others had been eating, drinking, and having fun. After finishing the wine, he even went to the imperial capital to buy more. In Old Man Qin's eyes, everyone was a little heartless. 3 months later, the weeds sprouted and the young trees took root. More than 2 months ago, the emperor led the Qilin army and the invincible Black Army to the spiritual state to bury the dead people and fierce beasts. The emperor had also come to Iron Ox Town after all. As the ruler of a nation, there were definitely many things waiting for him to deal with after the war. As for the Forgotten Continent, Mu Tianjun didn't order a massacre. So the Central Divine Kingdom, including several major regions, didn't suffer much damage. This morning, as usual, everyone drank until the middle of the night and slept until the sun was high up in the sky. The first person to wake up was Old Man Qin. When he washed up and walked out of the room, he immediately saw a young man in white standing alone by the lake with his hands behind his back, quietly watching the lake. Fei Yang? Old Man Qin was stunned. He quickly took a step forward and landed beside Qin Fei Yang, saying, "Are you out of seclusion?" "Yes." Qin Fei Yang nodded. "What about the gate of reincarnation?" Old Man Qin asked, looking quite nervous. Qin Fei Yang smiled but didn't say anything. In fact, Old Man Qin really wanted Qin Fei Yang to tell him that he hadn't comprehended to perfection yet. But the smile on Qin Fei Yang's face already explained everything. "Do we really have to do this?" Old Man Qin was silent for a moment, turned to look at the lake, and asked in a hoarse voice. "Even if I unfortunately die, there's still the inner demons." "He's me." Qin Fei Yang smiled. His expression was incomparably calm, without the slightest fear of death. Sigh. Old Man Qin sighed deeply. "Young master." Zhao Tailai was the second to wake up. When he saw Qin Fei Yang standing by the lake, he shouted, "Everyone, come out quickly. The young master is out." Whoosh! Immediately, Lu Zheng, Tang Hai, Cui Li, the Golden Leopard, and the Blood Kirin all rushed out. Only the inner demon walked out slowly with a casual look on her face. Cui Li said excitedly, "Young master, when did you come out? Why didn't you wake us up?" "I came out early in the morning. I saw that you were all resting, so I didn't disturb you." Qin Fei Yang smiled. Zhao Tailai scratched his head and smiled awkwardly. "Young master, I'm sorry. These 3 months, it's okay. After all, we've worked hard for most of our lives. It's not easy to have some free time. Of course, we should relax." Qin Fei Yang shook his head and smiled. "What about you? Do you want to open the gate of rebirth now, or do you want to wait until you relax?" The inner demons asked as he walked over. "These 100 years, I've been relaxed enough, and I can't wait." Qin Fei Yang smiled. The inner demons stopped, looked at the sky, and sighed. "Yes, 100 years have passed in the castle." After saying that, he withdrew his gaze and looked at Qin Fei Yang's back. He smiled and said, "Then let's begin." However, before he finished speaking, the inner demons suddenly used the walk formula and landed behind Qin Fei Yang. He slapped the back of Qin Fei Yang's head. "Inner demons, what are you doing?" Zhao Tailai and the others' faces changed. But in the face of the inner demon's move, Qin Fei Yang was not surprised at all. As if he had expected it, he grabbed the inner demon's wrist. The inner demons raised his eyebrows. "You're too naive." Qin Fei Yang shook his head. The inner demon's face darkened, and he said angrily, "Let go." Qin Fei Yang let go of the inner demons, turned to face the inner demons, and sighed. "It's my responsibility to revive everyone, not you." "What do you mean?" Everyone was surprised. But neither Qin Fei Yang nor the inner demons explained to them. "Humph." The inner demons snorted and said, "I didn't expect you to see through it. Although I've been in seclusion all this time, and you've been deliberately hiding your inner emotions, after all, our minds are connected. Sometimes, I can still feel it." Qin Fei Yang said. The inner demon said, "Since you've already felt it, you should get out of the way." Qin Fei Yang said, "I've already said that it's my responsibility." It has nothing to do with you. You'd better live well. Why are you so stubborn? You know very well that the person who really matters to everyone is you, not me. I'm the inner demons. I shouldn't exist in this world. I'm very happy to be able to do something for everyone. Do you understand? The inner demons said angrily. Qin Feiyang looked at the inner demons silently. After a long time, he smiled and said, "Thank you, but I won't agree to it." You, the inner demons, was furious. Wait a minute. Could it be that the inner demons wanted to knock the young master unconscious so that he could open the gate of rebirth and revive everyone? Zhao Tailai was surprised. He heard about it. Tang Hai and the others looked at the inner demons in a daze. That's what he thought. Because the two of us can share it. I've comprehended the gate of rebirth to perfection. It's the same as him comprehending it to perfection. And in the past 3 months, you've been drowning your sorrows in alcohol, but he's been enjoying the last period of his life. Qin Feiyang looked at Zhao Tailai and the others and said with a smile. I see. Everyone suddenly understood, and a deep admiration suddenly rose in their hearts. Qin Feiyang retracted his gaze and looked at the inner demons with a smile. You can leave now. Idiot. The inner demons glared at Qin Feiyang fiercely and turned to walk to the side. However, there were already tears in his eyes. You always say that I'm stupid, but in fact, you're the idiot. You don't fight for good things, but you insist on fighting for this kind of death. Qin Feiyang murmured. However, it was undeniable that the inner demon's action warmed his heart. Thank you. Qin Feiyang said silently, looked up at the sky, and whispered, Mother, I'll be able to see you again soon. I'm really happy. Boom. His voice fell. Waves of purple gold dragon chi rushed out of his body like a tide. Silly boy, old man Qin closed his eyes in pain and transmitted to Lu Zheng and the others, I'm going to the Forgotten Continent and the imperial capital. What for? Zhao Tailai secretly said. Inform Tan Tai Li, His Majesty, and Emperor Hong. Otherwise, I won't even have the chance to see them one last time. Old man Qin said. Lu Zheng's eyes couldn't help but redden. Then help me inform Second Grandpa and the others. Although it will make them sad to see this scene with their own eyes, but, at this point, he couldn't continue. His voice was choked up, and he turned his head and wiped away his disappointing tears. I know. Old man Qin nodded, opened his eyes, opened the portal, and walked in without looking back. Qin Feiyang also saw old man Qin's departure. He also knew what old man Qin was going to do. But he didn't stop him. Because he also wanted to see everyone before he died. Boom! The purple gold dragon chi continuously poured into the sky. In the sky directly above, purple gold auspicious clouds gradually emerged. For a time, the wind blew and the clouds rolled. And the purple gold auspicious clouds were still spreading in all directions. Not long after, the auspicious clouds spread to Black Bear City. But it didn't stop. The auspicious clouds were still spreading to Yen City, the Sea of Despair, and even the state capital. What? Feiyang has opened the gate of rebirth? Central Divine Kingdom. Above the Pill Pagoda Square, the mysterious lady looked at old man Qin standing opposite her with a face full of surprise. Yes. Go quickly, or you won't have the chance to see him again in the future. Old man Qin said. What do you mean by that? What do you mean I won't have the chance to see him again? The mysterious lady said in shock and anger. He has already comprehended the gate of rebirth to perfection. After old man Qin finished speaking, he turned around and rushed to the imperial capital without looking back. Comprehended to perfection, the mysterious lady frowned. Suddenly, her body trembled violently, and she shouted, Rushuang, come out immediately. Genius remembered the address of this site in a second. Mobile version of reading website, M. Chapter 1880. Whoosh! A beautiful woman leaped into the sky from the main tower below. Come with me to the spiritual state. The mysterious lady grabbed Qin Rushuang and flew toward the teleportation altar below. Mother, what's wrong? Why are you in such a hurry? Qin Rushuang looked at the mysterious lady suspiciously. The mysterious lady said in a deep voice, Qin Feiyang has comprehended the gate of rebirth to perfection. We must stop him. What? The young lady of the Dragon Phoenix Pavilion also changed her expression. Miss, let's go too. Yi Shu, the monkey-faced old man, and the hook-nosed old man also flew over. All right. There's strength in numbers. Stop him together is simply nonsense. The mysterious lady shouted angrily. However, just as the teleportation altar opened, another 3 figures flew over. The 3 of them were Li He, Li Yan, and Pei Yi. What are you doing here? The mysterious lady looked at the 3 of them suspiciously. To be honest, we've been waiting for Brother Qin these days. Pei Yi said respectfully. Waiting for him for what? The mysterious lady raised her eyebrows. Qin Rushuang reminded, Mother, have you forgotten? They have a good relationship with Feiyang. The mysterious lady was stunned for a moment before she said in realization, I think so. Feiyang even asked me to take special care of them. Take special care of us. Li He and the other 2 felt a warmth in their hearts. Although Qin Feiyang's current strength had reached a level where they could only look up to him, he still didn't forget them. Since you have a good relationship with Feiyang, then come with me and help me persuade him. Let's go. I'll tell you the details on the way. The mysterious lady looked at Li He and the other 2 and took the lead to step onto the teleportation altar. Imperial Capital. Hearing this, whether it was the Emperor, Emperor Hong, or Second Grandpa, they all couldn't wait and immediately rushed to the spiritual state. None of them expected that Qin Feiyang would be able to comprehend the gate of reincarnation to perfection so quickly. They also didn't expect that he would open the gate of rebirth without saying a word. When everyone entered the spiritual state one after another and appeared in the Butterfly Valley, the sky above the Butterfly Valley was already covered by auspicious clouds. But it still didn't stop. The auspicious clouds were still surging toward the other 8 continents. From the looks of it, it seemed as if it was preparing to cover the entire sky of the 9 great provinces. By the lake, Qin Feiyang stood against the wind. His long hair danced in the wind as he stared at the clouds in the sky. A faint smile hung on his resolute face. Zhao Tailai and the other 2, as well as the Blood Kirin and the other 2, stood next to the inner demons. They looked at Qin Feiyang quietly. Although there was no emotion on their faces, their hearts were already aching faintly. In fact, they also wanted to persuade Qin Feiyang and stop Qin Feiyang. But they knew better that they couldn't do that. Because at this moment, Qin Feiyang had been waiting for too long. Only 3 months had passed in the outside world, but 100 years had passed in the ancient castle. 100 years was equivalent to a mortal's lifetime. It was simply too long. Rumble. Crack. Gradually. Between the clouds, the sound of thunder and lightning could be heard. Along with it, there were bursts of dragon roars. An extremely pure dragon's might slowly descended from the sky, enveloping all directions. A huge purple-gold divine dragon was faintly discernible in the clouds. Whether it was the dragon's scales, dragon's body, dragon's horns, dragon's eyes, or dragon's whiskers, they were all very real. It was like a real purple-gold dragon. Whoosh! The mysterious lady and the others were the first to arrive. When she saw the purple-gold dragon in the clouds, the mysterious lady's expression changed drastically. The mysterious lady shouted, Feiyang, you have to stop right now. Qin Feiyang looked at the group of people and smiled. Thank you for coming to see me off. Nonsense. This is nonsense. The mysterious lady was furious. She took a step toward Qin Feiyang. Blood Kirin. The inner demons shouted. The Blood Kirin sighed and stepped in front of the mysterious lady. Move! The mysterious lady shouted angrily. The Blood Kirin shook his head. Yi Shu, what are you waiting for? The mysterious lady said angrily. Yi Shu, the monkey-faced old man, and the aquiline-nosed old man came back to their senses. They immediately went around the Blood Kirin and rushed toward Qin Feiyang. The inner demons shouted, no one is allowed to come near me. Yes. Zhao Tailai, Tang Hai, Cui Li, and the golden leopard nodded. They moved together and blocked the mysterious lady. Zhao Tailai looked at Yi Shu and sighed. Old Yi, stop. Don't force us to attack. The mysterious lady looked at Zhao Tailai and the others and shouted angrily, you are all Qin Feiyang's friends. Why do you allow him to do such a stupid thing? Zhao Tailai said, it is because we are friends that we have to stop you. You are so stupid. The mysterious lady was burning with anger. She slapped the Blood Kirin. Sorry, the Blood Kirin whispered. The Blood Kirin whispered. Divine power rolled out, and the mysterious lady was sent flying. After all, the Blood Kirin was a low-level war god, and the mysterious lady was only a beginner war god. The gap between the two was too big. Inner demons, why did you ask the Blood Kirin to stop us? What is the meaning of this? Do you want to replace Qin Feiyang? The mysterious lady was furious. Shut up. The Blood Kirin's eyes turned cold. He looked at the mysterious lady and said, even if you are the young master's great-grandmother, I will not allow you to insult Mr. Heart Demon. You do not understand him. For the young master, he would sacrifice himself without hesitation. Yes. He wanted to knock the young master out and open the door of rebirth for the young master to revive everyone. Actually, the inner demons are feeling worse than you. Zhao Tailai sighed. Replace Feiyang and open the door of rebirth. The mysterious lady was stunned. She had not expected the inner demons to do such a thing. After she steadied herself, the mysterious lady looked at the inner demons and said apologetically, Child, I am sorry. I was too impatient, great-grandmother, I know. You don't have to explain. The inner demons shook his head. Shua. At this time, the king, Emperor Hong, Old Qin, and second grandpa arrived above the lake. Looking at the clouds and the purple gold dragon in the sky, the king's face fell. He mumbled, is it too late? No. We can still stop him now. The mysterious lady said. The king's spirit was lifted. He looked at the mysterious lady and then at Zhao Tailai and the others. He said angrily, what are you doing? Get out of my way. Boom. The inner demons stepped forward and landed next to the Blood Kirin. He shouted, how many times do I have to tell you? There are some things we must do. Everyone was shocked. On one hand, they were shocked by the inner demons. On the other hand, they were shocked by the inner demons' words. It turned out that in the eyes of Qin Feiyang and the inner demons, reviving everyone was something they had to do. I'll say it right now. Today, if anyone dares to cause trouble and stop us from opening the door of rebirth, I will kill them. The inner demons glanced at the group of people. His blood-red eyes were like a sea of blood. There was not a single person present who did not tremble both physically and mentally. You rascal, why are you being so harsh? Can't you be gentle? But, I still have to thank you. Qin Feiyang looked at the back of the inner demons and smiled. The inner demons snorted coldly without looking back. Thank my ass. Hurry up, don't waste my time. Qin Feiyang smiled. Step by step, he stepped into the sky. At this moment, a man and a beast were standing in the clouds, looking at Qin Feiyang. It was Qin Yuan and the snow python. Qin Feiyang stepped into the clouds and saw them, but he didn't say anything. He just nodded and smiled. Qin Yuan didn't say anything. He only gave Qin Feiyang an encouraging look. Old thing, to be honest, now I am beginning to admire this kid. The snow python whispered, looking at Qin Feiyang with a complicated expression. Qin Yuan smiled but didn't say anything. Qin Feiyang stood in the clouds, and the purple-gold dragon aura was constantly surging. Roar! The second dragon, the third dragon, the fourth dragon, one by one, the purple-gold divine dragons kept appearing. They flew out of the clouds from time to time, revealing their huge bodies. Each dragon was thousands of feet long, and the terrifying dragon power shook the heavens. Time passed little by little. The people below didn't try to persuade him anymore. Because they knew that even if their mouths were dry, the inner demons wouldn't make way, and Qin Feiyang wouldn't stop. Roar! About half an hour passed. 99 purple-gold divine dragons were born in the clouds. They flew in the clouds and hovered in the sky. Every dragon scale on their bodies was emitting a dazzling divine light. The inner demons had seen this scene before. But it was the first time for the Emperor and the others. 99 purple-gold divine dragons. What a spectacular scene. It was rare to see such a scene in one's life. It's starting. I'll say it again. No one is to disturb him. The inner demon said. Roar! Before they finished speaking, the 99 purple-gold divine dragons in the clouds roared at the sky. Then they gathered together. The dragon heads faced the sky and the dragon heads faced the ground, like stone pillars cast by divine iron, standing in the sky. The purple-gold divine light shone in all directions. With my will, I seize the creation of heaven and earth. With my body, I seize the origin of the world. With my soul, I overturn the laws and reverse yin and yang. The gate of rebirth, open. Qin Feiyang's face was pious, as if he was on a pilgrimage. As he kept saying the words, the 99 purple-gold divine dragons roared in the sky. Clang! When Qin Feiyang said the last word, it was accompanied by a loud noise that shook the sky and the earth. A huge stone door gradually appeared above the heads of the 99 purple-gold divine dragons. The stone door was 999 feet high. It was glowing with a dazzling light. On it, mountains, rivers, earth, the sun, the moon, stars, and all living things were engraved. Every pattern was like a work of art, incomparably real. Is that the gate of rebirth? The Emperor and the others murmured. Although the Qin Emperor had created the divine dragon technique 10,000 years ago, this was the first time they saw the gate of rebirth. The mighty aura was many times stronger than the last time Qin Feiyang opened it. It was like a desolate aura from afar, shaking the hearts of everyone present. But when the gate of rebirth appeared, Qin Feiyang's cultivation began to fall, just like the last time. But this time, the inner demons were not affected at all. Chapter 1881. Grandfather, Feiyang's cultivation has already fallen to the false god realm. Seeing Qin Feiyang's cultivation constantly plummet, the emperor was burning with anxiety. What's done is done. Let's respect his choice. Emperor Hong sighed deeply. Silly child. The emperor clenched his hands tightly, his heart was in extreme pain. He wished he could replace Qin Feiyang and open the gate of rebirth. Unfortunately, he didn't have the ability. He hated his own incompetence. Why couldn't he protect this poor child every time? He hated God even more. Why did he let Qin Feiyang go through so many hardships? This child's life was already bitter and tiring enough. Couldn't he sympathize with him? The wind howled, and the dragon's might shook the world. Qin Feiyang stood in the clouds and smiled at the gate of rebirth. Although his cultivation was disappearing, he didn't regret it at all. On the contrary. At this moment, he was very happy. To save his family and friends, what was the point of sacrificing himself? In this world, there were actually countless people who were stronger than him. He was just an insignificant person. He was already very satisfied to be able to bring everyone back to life. Old Zhao, Old Tang, Chui Li, Junior Leopard, Inner Demons, Blood Qilin, thank you for accompanying me along the way. Father, grandfather, great-grandmother, second grandpa, third grandpa, fourth grandpa, Old Qin, thank you for your selfless love and care for me all these years. With you all, I am really happy. Qin Feiyang muttered to himself, the smile on his face becoming brighter and brighter. As his voice fell, Qin Feiyang waved his hand, and 2 seas of blood appeared. Although it had been a long time, one could still feel the deep resentment and despair. Why is there so much blood? The emperor and others were shocked. This blood is not only from the creatures of the 9 provinces, but also from the Black Tortoise world. This time, we were able to kill the demon ancestor and Mu Tianyang because of the creatures of the Black Tortoise world. They are the real saviors. The inner demons whispered. Clouds. Qin Feiyang waved his hand again, and a sea of corpses appeared. Within this sea of corpses were his grandfather, his maternal grandfather, his lover, his younger brother, and his mother. Many of them were beyond recognition. Some of them were even left with broken limbs. However, these people were the ones that Qin Feiyang was most concerned about and most reluctant to part with. I'm really sorry for making you wait for so long. After you are reborn, don't be sad for me. You must live happily. Qin Feiyang glanced at them one by one and mumbled with a smile. Then, he waved his hand and the mountain of corpses and the sea of blood flowed into the gate of reincarnation. Alas! Tang Hai sighed and took out a skeleton. With a wave of his hand, the skeleton rose into the air and flew towards the gate of rebirth. He had already found Sima Kun and the ancient pagoda in the reincarnation sea. This skeleton was Renduxing's skeleton. The inner demons looked at Renduxing's skeleton and asked Tang Hai, are Yen Wei's clansmen still alive? Yen Wei's clansmen? Tang Hai was stunned. Tang Hai and the others did not know about the situation of the Sky Tiger tribe. The inner demon said, are there any living people in the ancient pagoda? Yes, and there are quite a few. There should be more than 1 million. Tang Hai said. They are Yen Wei's clansmen. The inner demons whispered. Tang Hai nodded in realization. At the same time, the emperor also sighed and sent the corpse of the Kirin army's commander into the gate of rebirth. Between the clouds. The snow python turned to look at Qin Yuan and said anxiously, the gate of rebirth has been opened. Have you thought about it? Qin Yuan looked at Qin Feiyang and the gate of rebirth in silence. The snow python said angrily, Dong Zhenyang has already said it so clearly. Are you still doubting it? Qin Yuan took a deep breath and turned to look at the snow python, saying, this old man has a condition. Say it. The snow python said. Qin Yuan formed a seal with both hands, and a blood-red mark appeared. It was the blood soul technique. What are you doing? The snow python raised its eyebrows. This bet is too big. This old man has to be prepared. If you really have no problem, then let this old man use the blood soul technique to control you. Qin Yuan said. You. The snow python stared at Qin Yuan angrily. If you don't agree now, then it means that everything you said to this old man is just a conspiracy. Qin Yuan said in a deep voice. You're an old bastard. The snow python cursed and closed its eyes, saying, hurry up, don't waste time. Qin Yuan did not hesitate. The blood soul technique entered the snow python's body and quickly merged with the power of the bloodline. After a while, the snow python opened its eyes and looked at Qin Yuan, is it okay now? Qin Yuan took out the 4 drops of blood, looked at Qin Feiyang, and muttered, "Feiyang, I'm sorry." Then Qin Yuan waved his old hand, and the 4 drops of blood passed through the layers of clouds and entered the gate of rebirth in an instant. This scene happened too quickly, and no one noticed it. But as the one who opened the gate of rebirth, Qin Feiyang, noticed it and looked at Qin Yuan suspiciously. "Believe me, I won't harm you." Qin Yuan's voice sounded in Qin Feiyang's mind. Hearing this, Qin Feiyang did not think too much about it. At this moment, his cultivation had already fallen to Martial Master. Martial Master did not have the ability to fly. Seeing that Qin Feiyang was about to fall from the sky, the inner demons took a step forward and rushed to Qin Feiyang's side. A wave of divine power appeared and supported Qin Feiyang. "Thank you." Qin Feiyang smiled gratefully. "Do you think I want to talk to you?" The inner demons glared at him. Qin Feiyang shook his head and smiled. It was also at this moment that his cultivation had completely disappeared, and he had become a real ordinary person. But it did not stop. The qi, blood, and vitality in his body were also rapidly disappearing. Sigh. The inner demon sighed. The gate of rebirth of the perfection realm was completely different from before. In the past, it was at the cost of cultivation. But now, not only cultivation, but also body, lifespan, and even soul. In other words, it was to use Qin Feiyang as a sacrifice. Why are you sighing? To be able to use my life in exchange for the resurrection of billions of living beings, this is a very worthwhile thing. Qin Feiyang laughed. The inner demon said, "Don't say such useless nonsense, say your last words." Regretful, Qin Feiyang whispered and said with a smile, "There are no regrets, just help me take care of them." The inner demons clenched his hands and nodded, "Okay, I promise you." "Thank you." Qin Feiyang smiled. More than half of his qi, blood, and lifespan had been lost, and his appearance had become extremely old. His hair was white, and he was in his twilight years. "Thank you, my ass. You bastard. You left on your own and left all this mess to me. What do you think you are doing?" The inner demons roared. He took a step forward and hugged Qin Feiyang tightly. The tears in his eyes could no longer be controlled. Young Master, Tang Hai and the others looked at the two of them, and their hearts could not help but ache as they silently shed tears. The mysterious Madam, the Emperor, and the others had already collapsed, tears streaming down their faces. Qin Feiyang gently pushed the inner demons away and looked down at everyone. His bent body and the soul in his sea of consciousness were already disintegrating and dissipating. "I am very lucky to have you in this life, thank you." As the last word fell, Qin Feiyang's body and soul completely dissipated, turning into a rain of light that flew toward the gate of reincarnation. Deity. The inner demons roared and reached out to grab, but they could not grab anything. Young Master. Zhao Tailai and the other two, as well as the Blood Kirin and the other two, also fell into a frenzy in an instant, rolling and crawling toward the clouds. Feiyang, Emperor Hong and the others did not move, but looking at the rain of light, their eyes were filled with sadness. "God, why did you treat my child like this? I beg you, give me back my child." The Emperor roared again and again, kneeling powerlessly in the void, burying his head, crying bitterly. In his heart, it was as if a knife was being twisted. "You are really great. We will remember you, the people of Great Qin will remember you, the people of Forgotten Continent will never forget you, thank you for contributing to the common people of the world," Pei murmured. Originally, he had come to persuade Qin Feiyang. But when he came here and saw Qin Feiyang and the inner demons with his own eyes, he understood that persuasion was not something he should do, but silently support. "Please don't be sad, because this is not the result I want to see. I want to see the smile on your faces. Please don't let me leave with self-blame and regret," a faintly discernible voice suddenly reverberated in everyone's mind. This was Qin Feiyang's last trace of consciousness. After saying this, he turned into a rain of light, bit by bit, and merged into the gate of reincarnation. That's right. Young Master's greatest wish is for the people around him to live happily. Now, his wish has finally been fulfilled, we should not be sad about it. Zhao Tailai roared. Yes. We should be happy for Feiyang, proud, everyone, laugh for me, we can't let Feiyang leave with regret, Emperor Hong shouted. Everyone was indeed laughing. However, that smile of his was so bitter, so sad that it made one shed tears. This way, I really don't have any more regrets. Qin Feiyang's voice sounded again. However, no one heard this voice. His last bit of consciousness faded away along with the voice. The rain of light also completely merged with the gate of reincarnation. Qin Feiyang disappeared. The only things left were the Qianquan bag, the phoenix god blade, the ancient castle, the image crystal, the gate of time and space, the wings of the mermaid princess, and Ling Yunfei's spatial divine item, which floated in front of the inner demons and the others. Mobile version reading website, M.